Hello, 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 and welcome to Q&A Thursday right here at the Rag Company. Welcome, welcome, one and all. I'm Dane Hennon, your host. To my right, fellow host, Levi Gates.
Hello.
And to my left, Anthony Fisher, also fellow host.
Happy to be back, Dane. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you back on a day when we're actually doing this, because the podcast was a little lonely without you, but we did a good job.
No, it was great. We had a good time.
Oh, yeah,
we
you
had
didn't need
tons
to.
of
You
people
were-
watching. It was almost like we were a top-tier podcast,
Wow.
Dane.
Wow,
With,
just
you and
dropping
me.
the
It
dead
was great.
weight,
Yeah, it was awesome.
with all the
amazing.
silence in the
Really,
room
really
was gone.
amazing.
Say I'm
Yeah.
We
dead
had crazy
weight.
stories.
Yeah,
It was
just
popping.
awesome. It's probably the best podcast we've ever done.
Cutting me deep here.
No, it's nice to have you back.
Seriously,
Seriously,
it
we
is.
missed you terribly.
We did.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I figured so. I figured you guys missed me.
These
so
are what
much.
you call jokes.
Yeah.
And we got lots of them here at the Rag Company Q&A, where we answer
Yeah.
your detailing questions, and we go off, of course, on tangents that may not ever truly make sense, but in the moment they seem like
In the
right
podcast,
thing
we talked
to
about
do.
World War II and how
That
the
one was
war
very
started.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
literally
Did you-
what we talked about.
We
yeah.
talked a little
Revolutionary
history.
is what that war was.
We talked movies and
No,
books,
worst way. Yeah.
novels, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So actually, there were a few comments that popped up on the last one. People were actually into it. So thank you, those
Yeah.
of you who took the time to leave a comment. I would ask, please do the same with this if you're watching sometime in the future. But before we go on to questions, answers, all that good stuff, we got a little bit of mail here. I
Oh, we
wanted to
did.
touch
Yeah.
on
So, as people know, the Rag Company is what we call a destination
that. Oh, is it now?
place.
It's-
People come to
It is.
spend time. They maybe catch a night at the Home to Sweets.
Ooh,
They,
Luxurious.
maybe grab some a burger and fries at the Boise Fry Company.
Yeah.
And make their way over here to the Rag Company to take a tour
Yeah.
of our acres upon acres of microfiber fields.
Wow. It's insane.
that's where we grow it.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
It's insane to see
Here in the
people out
farmland
here.
of Idaho.
So we had some folks stop by. They'd driven up, couple dudes
Yeah.
Yeah.
with their wives
Nice.
coming to check out a concert,
Okay.
and they came down from Washington.
Okay.
You know what concert it was?
Let me see. Here we go. I think she wrote in here, maybe.
No, she didn't.
No, it didn't tell me. But they came down for a concert, and they had a great time. However, that day, you and I were busy filming some content.
You were.
Yeah.
We were knee deep in it, and they didn't get a chance to meet us. But they did get to meet Dane.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did get to meet Lucas and Aaron from
Good,
customer
yeah.
service.
Yeah.
Carolyn was the one that actually toured them around.
Yes.
Wonderful. As
Gave
she
them the-
as
gave
she
them the
does from time to time.
So we got a thank you card from
Very
Diana
nice.
Webster,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
and she said, "Dear Carolyn, on Monday, 8/28, we
there's
came to the
nothing
Rag
questionable
Company
in here.
from Washington,
Yeah.
thinking we were going to find a store.
Yeah.
You took us in and introduced us to Lucas and Aaron, who were so very kind, professional, and really know their stuff. In fact, everyone was friendly, and we got a sense of good morale. It must be a great place to work. We are really big Rag Company fans now. Thank you for all your kindness."
Yeah.
Then it says, "Best regards, Diana Webster." And P.S.
Thank you, Diana.
I have learned to not take basic human kindness and good customer service for granted. So
True.
we got ourselves a little thank you card.
Very
That's
true.
very nice.
That
This
is
is very
sweet.
nice.
So, big thank
For
you.
those wondering, where's your store?
yeah,
When's it coming?
We're working on it.
They're over there
We're
right
working
now
on it.
cleaning up,
Yeah.
getting finished up with the finishing construction of the storefront.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Connor there today. He was finishing up. He was out there sweeping this morning, getting it ready to
It's
go.
looking good.
They're going to get ready to start moving in. Their goal is to be in within the next few weeks, get to start moving everything in and get the store
cool.
finished. And their goal is to be open by October.
Yeah,
I
the
love
store,
that.
the store
So-
walls and doors and everything exist now. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of getting the stuff
They're
in
getting the
there
rest of the
so people
electrical
can come
and
buy it.
sheetrocking finished,
Yeah.
and just they got carpet in Connor's office.
But we're close.
So-
We're close enough that it's worth bringing up, because it always happens when people stop
Mm-hmm.
through town. They're like, "All right, ready to see your store." And it's like, well, ever since about 2020, we haven't really had a storefront.
Yeah.
So,
So it's there.
a
So
work in
we're
progress.
looking into October.
Yeah.
And we're pretty excited about that. So mark your calendars.
Yeah.
get your rooms booked at the Home to Suites.
I don't know if
so
it's
you
that
can come
kind
do
of-
some shopping.
That kind of situation, but it could be, right?
You never
Depending
know.
on what your
For the right person.
what your
Yeah,
idea of an
it is.
exciting day is.
It's amazing how many people do come just because they want to come check the place out.
They actually do.
Um,
And we thank
all
all
over
of
the
you
world.
who have done that over the years. It's fun.
So we got that, and then again, thank you to everybody who took advantage of the Labor Day sale.
Yes.
Yes.
Hopefully, you guys got to pick up some great products. Stearna Gloss at 30% off.
Pretty crazy.
Stock up for fall, and then maybe picked up something else for 15% off. You know, any of the other great products we had, and got yourself a sticker. Here's the rub: some of you may not have received a sticker.
Oh, no.
And the reason for that, so many orders that as they would run out of a stack of stickers at each packing station, they would run out. They didn't have time, and a couple orders would go out that
Yeah.
maybe missed a sticker by the time they got restocked with the next batch. So if you were unfortunate enough with your order, please, and you didn't get a sticker, please let customer service know.
Reach out.
They will give you a series of questions and things that you're going to have to answer. But
Phone number is
but give them a call. Give them a call or give them an email and let them know that you missed out or that you didn't get it. But you do have to have placed an order during the sale to get your sticker.
It's a cool sticker, so I don't blame you if you missed it and you want it. I get it. Yeah, I would.
We've only
probably
got a
want it
few
too.
left, so
yeah.
it's
Well,
it's
yeah,
going to be
it's, if you want 'em.
Demu. I see it.
Demo, yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Demo. Sorry.
call number
Daniel.
1-208-888-6821. That's the number you want to call.
Yeah.
All right.
Other than that, though, you guys are probably wondering where I was.
So where were you?
Are we wondering?
Right.
Did you go to the island?
I did not go to the island. No, my sister was in town. Right. I haven't seen her for like 4 years.
I haven't.
Wait, the one we
Dane
met
and
at
I
Disney
haven't seen
World.
your sister since the last time you saw
Correct.
your sister.
Yeah.
I know, and she's a lot of fun. She's a blast.
She's
and so
hilarious.
she came to visit. She came to meet my daughter for the first
Yeah.
time.
She
right?
also hadn't met your wife.
She hadn't met my wife
Oh,
either.
wow.
It's crazy, right? And needless to say, everybody loved each other. It was a good time. We went out to some nice dinners, right? Went out to a barbacoa,
Yeah.
right, where we had a nice, delicious, what do they call that? Hot rock steak, right?
it's
Where
fancy
they pour
there, yeah.
the sauce over the top. They light it on fire.
Yeah.
It was quite the show, right? So we did that, and what else did we do that I wouldn't normally do? We went to some like boutique coffee places, right? Rembrandt's and Eagle, right? It's not some place I would normally go to,
It's
but
a renovated church turned into a coffee shop.
yeah, right. But we did some fun stuff. It was like I basically was pretending to be a Boise resident of over 900 years.
Yeah.
And giving,
But you've only been a
history.
Boise resident for like 30 years.
Yeah,
Or a
not
tourist
even-
passing through
not
on your
even
way in
that
from
long.
California.
Been what,
you could
20?
also be
Correct.
that.
No, it's 16,
16 years,
16.
okay.
So I did the best I could,
Well,
right?
that sounds pretty
drove,
good.
I drove them around. I told them things about the Boise River.
Mm.
I highlighted, fun things that we like to do
Did you
here
take
in
them?
Idaho.
Did you take them to the river?
I did take them to the river, so they did
Good.
get to see
Okay.
the river.
And they did get cursed. So that's
they
nice.
did, yeah, they did
Well,
get
So
cursed.
that will be in their dreams
It
until
will.
they decide to move.
and yeah, well, what happens is you see the river, and this curse comes where it makes you come back to Boise. That's
Yep.
why so many freaking people move here, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
they all have the same curse.
Yep.
They made the
My
mistake
sister
of
did that
looking.
when she brought her new husband. They
Yeah.
got- they recently got married. She did the same thing. She goes like,
Hmm.
let's go to the river, and he's like, why? And she goes, I just need you to look over there.
It's kind of
And
weird
he's
you're
like-
asking me to look at
He
it.
goes,
I mean,
yeah,
I
I've
was gonna
seen,
look at it,
I
but-
know there's a river, and she's like, no, just look. Like,
So it's
right
like,
there.
What
See
do
where
they
that
call
duck
it? Like
is?
it's like the LeBois curse or something.
Something
and
like
I think
that.
it's something to where in your dreams, it's French fur trappers that like
They're singing Frere
they're,
Jacques.
they're sirens, is what they are, right?
Yeah.
So just like, but they wade in
say
the water of the Boise River, and they sing Frere Jacques
Zut
to
alors,
get you to
le
move to
bois.
Boise.
Those
It's
are
a,
just beavers, dude.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
weird dream, man.
Yeah, the only way to break it,
Yeah, is usually moving.
you got
here.
to either move here or you go get a handful of mud
Yeah,
from the center of the river,
yeah.
and then you take that with you.
In like
Out
a little,
and
You usually have
then-
to keep that on your
like
body.
a little baggie
Then
in your
you're
pocket.
free
Yeah.
to leave.
Then you're
Some
free to
people
leave.
Wear it as a chain.
Laszlo.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no,
well.
we did a bunch of fun stuff, right? We drove around. I gave them a lot of history. Went to the old Idaho Penitentiary, right?
Ooh.
Told them that people think it's haunted.
There was a motorcycle show there this weekend.
Was there really?
Yeah, it was called Party at the Pen.
Missed it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have been
on
there.
Saturday.
But yeah, we went over there, checked that out, and I wish. Okay, this sounds absolutely horrible. Do you want me to be
Here we
honest
go.
with you?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this sounds okay.
Can't wait.
So
You
there
can't
was
wait for this
there was
one.
there was
Your
a
sister
there
in one of
was
the cells,
no
or
there
no?
was a lot of probably deaths at the old Idaho Penitentiary, right? But there was only one hanging, right? And they bank off of that one as that's what haunted the place, right?
Right.
And I go, not just one, like there had to have been multiple, right?
Lots of them just committed suicide. They threw themselves.
or
off
there
that second
needed
bridge.
to
Well, we're
be-
definitely demonetized.
Well, there
Thanks for
needed to
that.
be more for it to be considered a haunted place, right?
Right.
Because when you read all of the things on the inside of the penitentiary, all the history, people go, this person enjoyed playing games and card games. And I go, this sounds like way too positive of a place.
It's a terrifying building.
It's a
It's
terrifying
what they're
building,
not telling you
But
that
they,
you
they
need to
talk
be
about all the
worried about.
positives, and I go, and then they do ghost tours and Halloween at the penitentiary, and
Yeah.
they go, I don't think, like there needed to be way more horrible things.
You're asking them to connect the dots that they're refusing to connect.
Well, it's not like Alcatraz, right? You go to Alcatraz, I go, this place definitely has seen some stuff, right? I've seen The Rock. I know all about this
Yeah.
place, right?
Great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
One of Dane's favorites.
Technically a sequel to the James Bond movies, but
Yep,
we won't talk
agreed.
about it.
I 100% agree.
But it's just funny because I go to the penitentiary and they're like, so it was just an old Idaho prison. I go, I know it doesn't sound exciting, but it is. And they have a World War II exhibit there, which is pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
So anyways, we did some fun stuff and they took off and
It was
now
featured in
I-
Zach Bagans' Ghost Hunters.
Was it
Yeah,
really?
he came to Boise and did a whole thing, and the whole time they made it look like there was a bunch of rattlesnakes around the guarding.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Oh man, look out, rattler! Oh, geez, look out, rattler!" And they never show a snake.
Yeah.
And then they show like a stock footage of like a rattlesnake in the desert.
so
It's
embarrassing.
got the National Geographic
Yeah.
watermark at the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
man.
one of those, and I was like, "Well, this is
As someone
this
who's
is not
lived here
real.
for some
There's
time-
no rattlesnakes over there.
We walk around there a bunch. It's not.
no,
like,
there's
No.
snakes, but there's no
they
rattlesnakes
exist in the
there.
foothills, but not right there.
They don't even warn you on the trails of snakes. That just shows
Yeah.
to show you.
N-
But
not
well,
really
they probably
anymore.
have. The Ghost Hunters crew came. They go, so hey, this place really isn't that
Yeah,
bad,
like-
right? So
We
what
need
are-
some danger.
They literally hiked up the trail that you hiked, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, geez, look out! Watch out, boys! There's rattlers over there." It's like, oh my gosh! So bring up that episode of Zach Bagans in Boise. Ghost Hunter.
Cringe
Too
Fest.
fun.
Can't
It's
wait.
available on Max.
All right, so jumping straight into this, I'm
yes.
sure we've got a familiar face or two in here, and this wouldn't be the same unless we had a word up from Dan
where you
Pfeiffer.
going?
gotta
We
get
got
Kent.
Hold on, I'm gonna get to Kent.
What?
I gotta start it up
Oh.
with Dan because he's usually number
well,
one.
Okay, sorry.
Dan's number 2 in this
Dan-
situation.
Dan was
I'm
number
not
2
used to it.
today.
Good afternoon, word up from Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve to your gang. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Appreciate the sale last weekend. All right, I gotta get
Very
that out of the
kind,
way
Dan.
because that's how we
Thank
open
you,
things
Dan.
up here. We got
Spice it
Kent
up.
here that says, "Hi guys, my wife and I love your Sweetwater air freshener, but it is no longer available. Are they discontinued?" To be honest, so I'll give you guys a little bit of information on the
Unfortunately.
scent specific stuff. So the air fresheners were cool. They looked really good.
They did.
In our opinion, they did not last as long as we wanted them to last. Like initially, in
Our
our
first
in
batch,
our
they
first
didn't
ba-
last.
Our first batch, our first testing samples they sent us, we were like, sweet, dude, these last for a couple weeks. That's pretty consistent of
Yeah,
all
they're
air
great.
fresheners. And then the next batch they sent us, whether we got nose blind to it or whatever it was like after a week, we would like.
There's nothing.
They need to like bump up the scent or something.
So
if
then
this
the
needs to
second
happen.
batch, we asked them to bump up the scent, and it
Yeah.
didn't change anything.
it.
Didn't really
No.
notice, no.
So we want to have another air freshener again, and I've been mulling around the idea.
I've got an email from the guy that we need to talk to
Well,
about air fresheners.
is it the guy that gets it from the guy that I'm talking about?
No, it's a different guy.
Okay, so then I can talk about this then.
We got two
So,
different guys.
I want more than anything.
Everybody's got their guy.
I want to do a collaboration with John over at Clean and Shiny on an air freshener.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I agree.
I don't know if you guys have ever smelled their air fresheners,
Oh,
but
they're so good.
They last a long time.
they're
We've all
super
had them in
good.
our cars.
I love the look of them, and I told him what I want to do is like have it to where the one side is the teardrop and the other side is like the TRC logo, right? I think it'd be the coolest thing. And he says, "Just let me know." And I guess I just
You need
haven't let him know.
Yeah, we
so
just- John,
if
hopefully
I
you're
do
listening.
that, then
I am surprised that the two of you haven't combined forces And you've done some woodworking, cutting out little, trinkets that you can string hang from the,
Me?
rearview mirror.
I'm
And
not
then
a woodworker.
But then he does some chemical mixing in the bathtub, and you guys come up with some things you can dip the wood in, get the scent,
Dane,
nice
well,
and
we're going to
embedded
need to
there.
start with some old haunted wood. So either A, we go to the
Okay.
penitentiary and start cutting down trees,
There's no
and
trees
then
there.
start scenting those.
We just
or
go to Dane's yard.
we just
cut
start
down
grabbing
some of
mud
his
from the
trees
Boise
and
I like
Tree
my
farm.
trees. Don't touch my trees.
We'll take his tree farm.
The scent would be called French fur trapper.
I like it.
Right? It's a slight mix of BO, musk,
to
right?
say.
And
river
cedar
water.
wood. And river water, right?
If it's going to be
Algae.
accurate, it's going to smell
Algae
terrible.
and cedar wood.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Fresh notes.
Fresh.
Yeah. I just figured between all your metalworking, maybe you dabbled in some wood.
Not in wood. I don't know
No.
anything
They're
about
like,
wood.
they're like, where do you guys harvest the BO from?
I guess
I'm
that
like,
was just
doesn't
my
worry, don't worry
interest.
about that.
Homeless people.
So that's horrible.
Yeah.
David Boyce says, afternoon, everyone. And we have Joey Belinsky that says,
Of course.
actually pointing out here something. What up, fellas? Shout out to all the Grand Ambassadors pumping out
Yes.
heat
Been some
this
amazing
week.
stuff.
Nice to
Awesome.
see everyone sharing each other's posts. So straight up, dude, our Grand Ambassadors that we have,
They're going hard in
these
the paint.
6, they are going hard in the paint, right? So because it's only 6, shout out to Darren, Heather, Vermeil, Hunter, Bearded Hunter, Matt over at Dabbler, and we have Darren. Did I say
You
Darren
said
already?
Darren twice.
Yeah, Jamie. I
Jamie
think you
Jamie
need
the
to
cleaner. Oh my
include.
gosh, sorry, Jamie.
Wow,
How could I?
Jamie's been losing his mind. I've seen their chat, and he freaks out. He goes, "Look, I got not posted in the stories again."
Yeah,
And meanwhile,
he was
everyone
get-
else is getting shared in the stories, but Jamie's just sitting there going, "What am I,
So,
chopped liver?"
For what it's worth, right?
So Jamie, I'm looking out for you.
Everybody started going really hard, right, on all these reels and all these posts. I was off work, right? So I just wasn't checking.
They're all just
my
screaming
phone.
you're on vacation.
And they're like, he's not sharing it. I'm like, well, I'm not looking at my phone that much, and so sorry about that. But yeah, everybody's been pumping out the heat. So if you're not already following our
Great job,
ambassadors on
guys.
Instagram, I highly recommend it. They're making some awesome content where you guys are going to learn a lot about obviously TRC microfiber and a lot of other detailing tips and tricks. So check them out. Now we have Demo here that says, got my Labor Day order in today. Y'all no longer giving away stickers. So we found out what the reason was. Reach out. Hopefully we can get you sorted. And then
Ooh, before we move
Yes.
on, I got one thing to throw in here
Ooh,
because
okay.
I want to get it early in the show. Then I'm going to mention a little later before we go to break and all that stuff. But right now, guys, gals, if you're watching right now, and there's a lot of you here, please be aware we have a video coming out today, 5 minutes
Another
after
one?
the end of the stream. It went so well last time, we're going to do it again.
oh wow.
So we've actually got a video featuring this guy.
Oh, no.
And a whole lot of bug guts. So
that
yeah,
one.
could be weird, could be fun.
That
You
one.
just have to watch to find out.
last week too.
Yeah, well, you know
video
what?
with a whole lot of bug
We're
guts.
doubling down with more. It's a different vehicle, semi-related, but
How
different
do you
vehicle,
get 2 vehicles
and a
that
different
covered in bugs?
a different premise.
no.
So
You don't
I
have the same
want
household is what you do.
I want as many of you as possible to make sure you go over to the main Rag Company YouTube channel, click notify me on that video that's got a premiere set up, and just be ready for it. 5 minutes after this ends, you'll be able to pop over there, catch it right as it starts, and you'll be able to chat with
For
other
those
people
of
who are
you
watching at the
in
same
the
time.
UK and Europe, you can be lulled to sleep by the
Yes.
sounds of Anthony talking about bug guts.
I think I'm
Who
just
doesn't
breathing
want
heavy in that video, but that's okay. That's fine too.
Anyway, now we can move on.
Next up here we have
Bam.
Dino saying, "What's up, boys and girls?" Alex in the house
Hey,
here, Grand Ambassador of the Year of 2022. Coming in hot says, "I'm like a little 2021.
2021.
Sorry, Alex. Time flies when you're having fun, man."
Where did
he
the years
says
go?
that he's like a little Caesar's pizza, hot and ready, baby. Let's get this Q&A rolling.
Wowza.
And we got Humberto.
Doing what Humberto does,
Humberto
saying
saying
hello to
everybody.
everyone.
You know,
Congrats. Thank you, Umberto.
thing is,
really
though-
the heart of TRC.
I mean, he makes everybody feel welcome.
He's the
He
heart
really
of the
does.
Heart of the
And
chat.
I think that's an important
What a
thing.
wonderful person.
We got Joey Belinsky says he's been enjoying. Oh, let's just say, been seeing varying results. How long did Hyperseal last for you guys during your testing? What might cause it to fail after a few washes? So this is a good question. So Hyperseal has never been known for having the most hydrophobic properties amongst all of our sealants.
Yeah.
So least something that's not like everything else that we offer, right? It's not a C2V3, it's not a bead maker, it's not anything like that. It offers great protection. Obviously, has a bunch of UV inhibitors in it, and is essentially like OptiSeal but on steroids. But similar to the formula of OptiSeal, OptiSeal itself was also never known as a high beading, a high water behavior sealant. And so with HyperSeal having significantly more, I believe SiO2 in it, it's got some other, I think
It's got SiC
in it as well. I think that Dr. G simply wanted something that would not mask the coating behavior of OptiCoat Pro Plus, which is what that product was designed for initially. So it has the protection. It's going to top off the protection. It's going to, again, add to the UV inhibitors. It's going to add to a couple other things in there in conditioning the paint, but it's just not going to necessarily have the best hydrophobic properties because it's meant as a topper that's still going to have the properties of your existing protection.
No, it's a good realistic
That's
take
the
on
best
it.
way to kind of put it. And
Because you love HyperSeal.
Because here's the thing. HyperSeal, it changes the way the vehicle looks. Yeah. It adds a load of gloss, and I genuinely think that some of my cars have never looked better until I put something like HyperSeal on them.
Agreed.
But I know full well, though, that on its own, it is not the most, how do I say, it's not the most...
You're not going to wow somebody when you dump water on it compared to some products.
It's not the most shock and
It'll
awe
do its job.
sealant.
It's just
the
not
biggest thing
the
is
same
Dr. G said
level.
chemically it is still on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is very hard to remove.
So it's not failed
from the surface.
Well, I mean, HyperSeal, if you, so, I mean, you can do your own test on it, but if you were to wipe HyperSeal on trim and not knock it down and just let it sit, right, it'll actually stay on there. I mean, for a while, and you're going to have to go up and try to scrub it off.
Longer than
it'll high spot a few.
It'll technically kind of high spot. I mean, everybody said that when HyperSeal was first created, it was essentially like gloss coat, but diluted just a smidge. I mean, just a smidge, except it didn't have the hydrophobic behavior that gloss coat had. So, yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. But also, I mean, for what it's worth, the new Ultra Seal that Optimum has as well in the purple bottle, that also it doesn't have the best hydrophobic properties in comparison to some others, in my opinion. But I like the application process. I like the way the vehicles look with it. But yeah, it's not going to put on a show. But with that said, there's plenty of products that do put on a show, right? Mm-hmm. That's the only thing they're good at, right?
Yep.
And that's all they do. They can bead, but they still don't have the UV inhibitors, so things can fade underneath that beading. Mm-hmm. Things can start to degrade underneath that beading, and so it's kind of.
I know that cars that I've done HyperSeal on, and let leave for a year, come back, and they wash beautifully. Mm-hmm. There's no issues there. They clean beautifully, and they still look great. Yeah. After a year, I've never. Like between HyperSeal and like C2V3, I've done some basic watching, and I've noticed that cars like that with those products, when I leave them, when I let them go, and they come back to me a year later or 2 years later, they still look great. Mm-hmm. And mind you, people are caring for them; they're taking care of them, but they're usually doing some washing on their own. They're maybe adding in a car wash here and there, but the gloss and the UV protection is what is the biggest factor. I'm excited to see how Defender does as I've been sending vehicles out into the world.
Well, I think Defender is a good example of kind of one that's going to have the hydrophobic behavior. It's going to have the UV inhibitors in there, and it's going to have probably the durability. Yeah. But yeah, HyperSeal just has this look to it. I don't know how to describe it.
It is strange.
It's got this weird look to it, to where I pull it out. It's kind of like Dream Maker in the sense that it's just like
it's got gloss enhancers.
Yeah, it looks pretty crazy.
Nope, that's fair. And then I got Mountain Town Details simply saying, I hope you guys have been enjoying the mountains.
No, thank you, sir. Anthony did a lot of hiking this weekend.
I did. As did I.
I did not.
Not the same places, so.
Alex saying, question, under this video, there's a little thumb icon. What happens when I hit that? It likes it.
You should do it. You should just hit it and see what happens.
2 thumbs up.
Make sure it's this one, not this one.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean,
But we like these more.
for the sake of argument, let's say you click on
Umberto
that.
saying hello to more folks.
More folks.
And then Jamie the Cleaner, hello, Towel Friends. Is this where the hot mic action takes place?
Yes, there was a little hot mic action earlier. Nick caught it very quickly, though. I think he was testing some things out.
Yeah.
Good thing we only have nice, positive, happy conversations
That's right.
around here all the time.
All the
that I
time.
could possibly pick up.
Dane, why don't you read Joey's?
All right, I got Joey here. Are you guys raw dogging ONR V5 like Dr. G mentioned, or are you still pre-spraying the surface first?
Depends on the mood.
Oh.
Dude, I'm always pre-lubing. I'm pre-spraying and pre-lubing. Always.
Sometimes I like to go in
Raw.
raw.
Do you go in raw?
Sometimes
That's,
depends on the day. Depends on how I
Yeah.
feel.
Does it depend
Depends
on
on
the,
maybe
the surface?
maybe like the vehicle that you're working on
Yeah,
too.
maybe you care
Yeah.
a little more.
the current state of the vehicle.
Yeah, if it's clean, I don't care. If it's a little more dustier, I like to pre-lube it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a little more
Pre-spray.
gentle. It's a
Yeah.
good move.
I do enjoy
It's
pre-spraying
a
though.
habit thing. I can't
Yeah.
break it. I will always probably pre-spray.
Yeah.
Always.
Well,
I think it's
that's how
just
some
a
people
habit.
are.
Because
Yeah.
I the same way, I have a hard time looking at a dry surface that has any dust or dirt on it. Even me.
I will
Mr.
say though, I do enjoy pre-spraying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
just getting it all over the place.
Yeah. It's
Make-
like,
make a
let's
mess.
get this
Yeah.
party started,
Yep.
prime it
It's
up.
not
Don't
too much
just
of a mess, but
immediately,
just enough, right?
it's
Just
a little
to, just
warm-up
to the
act.
point of dripping.
It's a
Alex
cover band
Dewar
before the big
says,
show.
shout out to God Mode Bead Maker.
Oh, that's an oldie.
If you want to burn through some bead maker fast and smell amazing,
Put it in an IK multi.
We
and
haven't,
get
That
we
is a
haven't,
crazy
we haven't,
way to-
we haven't God moded any bead
We
maker
haven't.
Not in
in
a
like
while.
it's probably been a
Couple
year,
years,
year and a
maybe?
half, maybe.
I mean, it is somewhat wasteful.
It is. Oh, it is. It is
It's pretty
beyond
wasteful.
wasteful, and it's pretty much putting that towel in the grave almost immediately. I mean,
but it
It's a
is fun.
sacrifice.
It's
That's-
very fun.
When you do things in God mode, there are going to be some sacrifices.
there are some sacrifices.
Well, let's say
that
you're
need
on
to
the
be made.
tail end of your bead maker. You only have like some left, and you're just feeling like little.
Well, do you-
crazy.
I like getting it in the air.
Yeah.
Well, do you just remember how it's probably not great for us, but it is nice. But you know how many twists and shouts that we sacrificed with
so
God
many.
Mode Bead Maker? Like
Yeah.
it was bad. I think
We
that's,
wash our cars and then God mode.
Yeah.
That's
bead maker.
literally why Rags to Riches had to happen
Yeah.
because
Destroyed
we'd
a
be
lot.
out there in the front next to the UPS truck in trash cans from back in the day, right? And we'd be washing the car down. And I go, Levi, what do you want to spray? And he goes, probably bead maker. And it was always like that. I go to grab the spray bottle and I turn around and Levi's got God mode in the multi-pro.
Ready to
or
rock,
in the
fully
in the
pressurized.
it was the multi 1.5. And I'm just like, are you really wanting to do it? He goes, yeah, go grab the twist and shout. And I go, you know what this means for that twist and shout? And he goes,
I said
yes. He's
sacrifices
like,
have to be
Essentially, Rags to Riches is there to be the hangover cure for the liquidator or the twist and shout that drank too much.
Do you
So-
remember when we would flood cars with Bead Maker? How good those cars felt.
Yes.
Like it was the most slippery thing
Oh, it was amazing.
ever. Like we
Amazing.
would because we would go over the twist and shout, and then we'd come back with like an FTW, or we'd come back with even like an Eagle, and
Yeah.
we would just start gliding our hands over, it, and everybody walking by like, "Can I feel what you're feeling
They would
right now?"
smell it. They could
And they'd
smell
come
it in the
over
air.
and start wiping the windows, the trim, and they're like, "What the heck?"
I may have to God mode a car this week.
Like it makes it. My mouth starts getting
Yeah, I
kind
know,
of
me
like,
too.
like
I'm
I'm
excited about
salivating.
it.
at
So
the
Jamie the
thought.
Cleaner here says, has there been any new sponge technology since the Ultra Black sponge have been released?
I think so.
There
I think
probably
so.
has.
They're
We
always
haven't
working on stuff.
played on anything yet.
No,
think
nothing.
so.
Nothing that seems like it's jumped out as like, oh, that's like a next level
Well,
thing.
I mean-
because when we have visits from our friends over in the the foam the foam world, right?
Yes.
Our friends over at Lake Country and whatnot, and they would usually let us know if there's been any major advancements of something that we would need to try for sure.
foam technology, in essence, that I would like to play with, maybe someday, is the Udos pads. So
Okay,
the Udos
yeah.
foam is almost like a memory foam type style. I would like to play
So
with
you're
that,
polishing
Great.
with the mattress?
basically.
No, those
Okay.
Udos pads,
It's
they
just
can
a
also,
quicker rebound
Yeah.
and ability to handle the heat a little more. And
They can take a beating as well, which
yeah,
I
they're
really
very
like about
durable
those.
pads.
Yeah, no, we've talked with
So.
them about that. It is cool. I've got.
We got Tom Chicago in
Take
the
'em.
house. Says, "Happy Friday Eve, my friends from Idaho. It's been very hot here in the Northeast, but my house is set to 68 degrees. LOL.
that's
Hope
the
all is
temp.
well on your end, and thanks again for everything you guys do." Isn't that nice, man?
That is
Isn't
nice.
that nice?
That
I
is
was,
spot
I was,
on.
I was talking to the guys about this the other day. When you think back to your childhood, why do I remember my childhood with virtually no AC.
I had a swamp cooler.
Like my house, right? I
Yeah.
remember my parents, and we weren't rich by any means, right? So my dad was very conscious of how long we ran the AC for when we were in the AC.
Yeah.
But he was a windows open kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
I'd go, hey, I'm hot. Open up a window. I'm still hot.
It's hot outside.
He'd go, grab the box fan.
Yeah.
I go, I'm tired of the fan. Can we turn on the AC? No, it's too expensive to run the AC. And when they did run it, like they would set that thing to like 74, 75, right?
Yeah.
So it would still be pretty toasty inside there, depending on.
Well, if you
Yeah.
wait too long and it gets too hot and then you turn it on, you're just making it work harder when you could have
My
just had a
dad,
nice
my dad
even
would turn.
keel.
So my dad, we had a ceiling mount swamp cooler in our first trailer,
That's wet.
and he
humid.
would come home from work when he was working at the gas station, or it was before he started working at Micron. And I remember him laying on the ground. He'd grab a pillow from the couch.
Yeah.
He'd go lay in the hallway where it was located. He'd lay that pillow down on the ground. He'd take his shirt off and he'd lay on the ground underneath that thing, run that sucker full bore, blowing cold air on him.
Yeah.
And he would cool himself off like that. And then he'd go hop in the shower and then he'd feel like, oh, pretty good. And then at night, we always had windows open. And then when we bought our new house and moved into that, our AC unit never really worked. And it wasn't for about 10 years until my dad replaced it that we finally felt what real air conditioning was, because it was always like you put your hand over the vent, you're like, I don't think the AC's on. He's like, it's trying, but it would freeze over, and
Yeah.
he could never get it to
So
do what
would
its thing. But he
Yeah.
was you'd come home, the AC would be off. So I'd get home at 3 or 4 o'clock, and the air conditioning would be off, and my mom would be home from work, and she's like,
Yeah.
ooh, it's hot in here. Let's turn. She'd turn on the ceiling fans.
Yeah.
We'd turn on the air conditioner, and it wouldn't cool down. And it'd
Yeah.
be 4 or 5 o'clock, hottest time of the day, and it was
Yeah.
just hot.
Roasting.
And so I'd go in my room, open a window, put a box fan in the window, try and
yeah.
cool myself down. It never worked. So I know exactly.
I just wonder,
now
like,
I keep my house as cold as I possibly can.
Yes.
Well, I mean, where I think we keep our house at like 70, around 70,
It's
70.
on.
Tom's
Am I-
got it.
am I
68
AC's
is
on?
my magic number. That
My
is such a
AC's
good
on
one.
nonstop, and I never open the windows.
I know, but like, why is the big contributing thing to that is that AC units have just become better, more energy
Probably more
efficient.
efficient.
They're a lot
and
more
everything
efficient
like
than
that
that.
might
used to
be.
be.
I mean, you think
But
about
there's-
cars.
There's even people that have older homes, right? Dane has an older home, but his AC
92,
still
yeah.
working, right?
It's a newer AC.
yeah,
unit.
mine's
It's
a
from
new
the
AC unit.
mid-
Mine's an older
2000s,
house, but
but
it's a
yeah.
brand new one.
Because I don't know. I just remember as a kid just being hot all the time, and I also wondered, is it because I was a kid running around? I was.
But
just
also, you were
literally
like
a-
down in
probably
Modesto,
were, too.
California.
Active.
You were here in Boise. I was up in Washington, living near the coast, like between Washington and Canada, right there. So like it was always cooler where we were.
Yeah. Well, I asked my parents about it. I said, "Hey, did we run the AC when we were young?" And my parents were like, "Yeah, we ran the AC when we needed to." And I go, well, "I don't remember that. I don't remember when we needed to. I just remember I'd be like, I'm hot. Okay,
You know what,
grab a
though?
glass of ice water.
Yeah.
I'm hot. Okay, grab the box
Well, it's
fan.
because
Yeah.
they didn't grow up with it.
But another big
So they
differentiating.
had their own reason. Like they were okay with it. For us, we grew up with it available, but a lack of it. So now
And
we
maybe,
use
and
it.
maybe the prices were extremely
Probably.
expensive.
Now
to
I
run
look at it and I go, I think about to when I had a 76 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. I had air conditioning in it.
Mm-hmm.
I never used the air conditioning because these
Oh.
windows were the size of the same door.
They're huge,
So
yeah.
you roll that window down, it's a giant
That's a
window.
lot of airflow.
And I had vents on the floor that I could open
Mm-hmm.
that would suck in air from the road as
Did
well.
it have the GM crotch vent, or did that come later?
It had that as well.
Oh, nice.
So you're
Okay.
cruising down the freeway doing 55, and you could open those floor vents, and it would just blow cold air in, regardless
to
of how
do that
hot
in
it
the
was.
Thunderbird, 'cause
It was
too hot
amazing,
otherwise.
and it was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is so nice. And then you'd crack the windows, and you'd still get a nice breeze in, and it was
doing
like,
that because of the fumes.
this is well ventilated. And one of my buddies turns on the AC, and I'd be like, no, don't turn it on. And he goes, why not? It'd be nice to have some AC. And
We'll
I
have
go,
no power.
I go, we'll have no power because it robs so much power from the engine,
Yeah.
as well as it would you'd lose the mileage. It'd
Yeah.
go from maybe the car getting 16 miles to gallon to getting 6 or 8.
Yeah.
I mean, it would kill it fast.
Yeah.
And so I never ran the AC because of that. I remember my mom had a 73 Suburban, and she loved it because it had air conditioning. And she was like, she would run that AC all the time. And my dad was like, why do I have to keep filling this thing up? And she's like, all right, well, we'll drive it around. And then he watched her one day, and he's like, no wonder this thing's getting like 5 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
You're driving the kids back and forth all over town.
There was one other important factor that I don't know if it was the case for you guys. Possibly for you, I doubt where you lived it was a thing. But for us, the house had a ton of tree cover. So like
that was always cool.
70% of the roof all around it was more or less covered
Shaded.
by branches hanging over it. It had some shade throughout the day, even in a temperate
That makes
climate.
a
When
huge
it did get
difference.
really hot, the hottest days were like low mid-90s, like extreme scenarios. It really never got over 94 or 5 there, and that was super rare. It was usually in the 70s and 80s in the summertime. But yeah, no, having that tree cover made a huge difference. It just was way less taxing on the house because of that.
Crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Moving on.
A little
Sorry,
bit of a
just little
tangent.
side tangent there.
Tom, by the way, your steering wheel looks dope. Mary replying back to Umberto.
Mm-hmm.
And where are we at here?
There we go. We got Hans
popping
welcome.
in, saying hello and happy gray FTW day.
Hey.
The Mountain Town. Anthony, do you like walking into a Krispy Kreme when the hot sign is on?
Ooh, the hot sun.
Love that.
And then Jamie the Cleaner asking if you like to ask for the double glaze action. And then Joey Belinsky asking, is there a triple glaze option?
Oh, wow. Adventurous.
And
over
then
there.
Alex saying, miss your face to Justin. And then Mountain saying the same thing.
Everybody saying, hey.
Harry Housewife saying, you know what they say about horses. Harry Horsewife in the house.
Hey, that guy.
Jamie says, I also miss the face of the mountain. And then Bearded Hunter saying, what is
look
up,
at all
my
these
dudes? Hope your day's going
ambassadors.
great. Super Auto, greetings from the Metro ATL area. What's up, Super Auto?
Nice.
And
Hey,
then Mountain Town Video will be rolling again soon, boys.
Nice.
All right, now I have to figure out what page I'm on. I think I'm
You're
on
on 6.
6. Okay, that's where we were. Yep. Okay, so we go to 5. It all works in reverse.
Darren, everybody saying hello. Alex saying hello to Darren. Jamie saying, I hope everyone, the future non-runner-up in the game of the Towel Tournament afoot. And everybody just saying hello.
Lots of
Oh,
that.
we got
Alex.
Luke.
Oh, wait a second.
Alex
wait a
wondering
second.
where in the world is Birch.
That's a
Yeah,
great
where is-
question.
where is the Simon Birch
And
at?
then
Where is
Luke
he?
Berge, have you noticed any lack of gloss boost from the last gen Hyperseal to current generation? I feel like it doesn't look the same.
Interesting.
I didn't notice that, Luke, but you've used Hyperseal more than I have, I think.
I think I'm on the next gen bottle right now. I believe I am.
I am.
But
I
that's an interesting,
I've only ever owned like 3 bottles in my life.
So-
because they last forever.
They do.
So, Luke, question. If it doesn't look the same, does it look better, worse, different? Like, how would you
Well, he's saying
describe
it's
the
a
change?
lack of gloss.
Lack
So
of
it's a lack
gloss,
of
that's what I
gloss,
said.
but do you have any more specifics that you could point to, like in the
So
sunlight?
it's very glossy. So if he's saying it's got a little bit of a lack of gloss, then
What
I
other
agree
products are currently on
with
the
that.
car?
Darren, he probably knows. And Darren, whoop, Jamie's in the house. Always needs someone to clean up after me. And then Joey Belinsky saying, is that new screwball brush on the website? Is that a new screwball brush on the website? It looks a bit different to me.
Pretty sure.
I think we just have the curveball
unless there's something I don't know.
on there.
Yeah, we don't know that.
We're all like,
Joey.
wait a
We're
second,
little
it's
I think we
Something-
just have the. Let me go and do a little.
Alex
Do a
wanted
little
to know, was the
check-a-loo.
concert the Goo Goo Fighters or Goo Goo
The
Dolls?
Goo Goo Fighters.
or something like that. It was a Goo Goo Dolls concert Anthony did.
The Foo Foo Dolls.
And then Luke,
Yeah.
you guys have the dates for TR SEMA 2024. It is the first week of April, Luke.
That's where it's going to be. That's where it's going to
The
stay.
first full week of April. And then Simon Birch. Birch is here, and it's
Hey!
almost the weekend. What's
Look
up,
at that.
dude? Then Hunter saying, Annie, tips or favorite products protecting convertible tops? Rag Top? Yeah, Rag Top's a great one. And
choice.
Color Lock also has one.
Oh crap!
Yeah.
Joey Belinsky,
Now
Annie
he
cares.
sees something.
Oh,
He
crap.
sees something appear.
Why were we not
that-
notified?
Did that?
Yeah,
just,
we
did
weren't-
that just happen today?
It must have.
I don't think we were told about that.
Anyway,
Sorry.
well, get screwy with it, right?
I guess if you're
If you head to the
Screwball curious,
ragcompany.com
you
right
can
now, you might
check
see
it out.
something that we didn't even know was up there. But
Screwball's on there.
we
Yeah,
will
so it is
we'll
a
cover that
different-
soon.
It is a different version. Than the curveball.
Very much
noted.
so. Any care
Uh,
tips for the ultra utility brush so the handle doesn't begin to dry out and split like a cutting board?
Right.
You can. Okay, so if you get it
Oil it?
completely wet, like you get it completely saturated in water, you can let it dry out, and then you can hit it with a little bit of oil. You could oil it. You could use like a nice wood
Linseed
oil,
or-
linseed. You can even hit it with olive oil if you want to hit
Yeah.
it with olive oil, and you can just do that. that's the trade-off, right? It's a beautiful handle. We love the wood. It looks so good. And it's water resistant, but it's not waterproof, right?
Yeah, you can't just leave it in a bucket.
So if it's submerged for long periods of time, or it also kind of depends on the wood, right? Like if it'll start to split. Maybe if it was that particular piece of wood, was not an ideal piece of wood to begin with, and it's the slight risk. But I've only seen a couple instances of it actually splitting to the point where maybe it wasn't usable.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I would just oil it. That's probably the best
But for that
advice.
kind of brush, it's a lot more attractive than just having yet another thing with a rubber or plastic handle. It's something fun and different.
Again, it's like it's a tool.
Yeah.
Take care
But
of
eventually, if we have to move away from the wood, we can. But I like
it. Wouldn't
Yeah,
change
the wood
the
is
quality
just
of the brush
fancy.
itself. It's just
I
the
like
wood is
the
a
wood.
nice look and feel. Yeah,
Real 850 saying shout out to Aaron at TRC.
he's a good guy.
Steven saying, will your store be open also on Sundays? I have no idea. We haven't decided that yet. It's going to be
those guys will.
It's up to the guys running the store. So we're taking the same approach as PNS. So PNS has a factory store as well, but it's run by their oldest distributor, local distributor.
So it's not us running
Yeah.
the store itself. We're providing product and that kind
So
of
it's
stuff.
the same
but-
kind of thing. So
Yeah.
so basically PNS has their store being run by their oldest local distributor who runs trucks and things in the area. And so they basically said, hey, look, you've been our oldest and best. Move in with us and let's do this together. We're basically taking that exact same style and we're doing that with one of our oldest and best distributors that is local. And so they will be based out of our studio or out of that store, where they'll be running trucks throughout the state. And then on top of that, we will have the store open. So it's not us dictating the store hours. It's going to be up to them to dictate the store hours, Stephen. Josh saying hello from MIA. What's up,
hey.
dude? And then Graham, afternoon, lads. Happy Friday Eve. Having watched last week's Yarnagloss video, can Levi or Dane do an image search for Monty Python's Gumby's character and show Anthony? We'll get on that, Graham.
Oh boy.
I don't know if that's a compliment or what that is.
We'll see where
but
that ends up.
Yeah, we'll go from there.
Alex Dwar says, I looked up Boise Airbnbs. There were no Dothraki pleasure trailers listed. I'll check again next week. That's because it's not listed yet.
That's right.
And it won't be on an Airbnb.
No,
But-
Will it be a pleasure trailer?
Well,
depends on who's
depends
using
on the
it, I
type
guess.
of, depends on what they're asking for.
Well, I just don't know.
I mean, it's going to be just a
Like,
trailer.
would you rent it out first to somebody going to Burning Man 2023?
Not this year, no. There's a brand new trailer getting covered in mud.
It wouldn't be brand
That
new.
would have
Hey,
been
you hope it's mud.
crazy. That would have not been ideal.
I would have been
right?
bummed.
But that would have, in fact, been a pleasure camper. For
But
sure.
if somebody were curious, it's not Airbnb. What place do they list those at?
Well, you can
usually?
find them anywhere on the RV listing. So
Okay,
RV
but if they were
Share,
looking
RV
for a certain
something,
one,
I don't know. I haven't
okay.
I haven't chosen.
here I was
Which
trying to
site?
give him an opportunity, but he won't
I
take
am.
it.
When it's listed, I'll send it out to everybody. and they can
Okay.
look. David Boyce. Joey, I clean my round blue utility brush with car shampoo, then rinse it with Absolute. There you go.
All right.
Tugger. Boise is about to see an influx of tourists going to buy shares in Homewood Suites, make money. I'd even settle for money.
$1 sign versus
Yeah.
3.
So it's Home 2 Suites.
Yes. Home,
And
the
then-
number 2, and then suites.
LHF detail saying Happy Friday Eve to the slop waffle capital of the world from Delaware. What's up, dude?
Hey.
Roberto saying what's
waffles, oh,
going
man.
on. It's a superb product. The
Ragtop specifically. Yes.
And then Darren says, legitimately found Liquid Death in my local corner shop tonight, and I'm chugging down on a mango chainsaw.
Nice.
I love their product names. They have some of my
See,
favorite
I'm enjoying
puns.
an armless Palmer right
yes,
now.
the armless Palmer was one I saw recently that I died laughing at.
It's great.
It was
It's tea, agave, and vitamins.
Sounds great.
It's kind of like lemonade and iced tea.
That's the idea.
Oh,
All right, we
Joey
got Joey.
Belinsky says, gosh, did you guys get a new sticker maker? Both of my stickers had some issues. One was bubbly and peeling, and the other was cut off center.
No, it's the same sticker maker it's always been.
It's always been the
sticker
same.
maker. So
Now,
that's,
his tools and his vinyl has probably changed, but we're trying to keep the same quality of
That's always
product.
been a goal of ours, is not to mess with something that works
Yeah.
well. So
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if it's one of your new stickers, right? Again, you you try to reach out and see if we can get that replaced while
Yeah.
we might have some in stock still.
My
potentially.
sticker's under warranty.
I don't know. I mean, I get that some people really
Yeah.
like the stickers.
No, I absolutely support that. in
Super
that
Auto
case.
says my order's being delivered tomorrow. I hope they included the sticker. We hope so too.
man.
And then Jeff C says, is there any ETA for Diamond Quick Body? Is it a formula change or just a bottle
It's
issue?
just a bottle issue, and there's no ETA at the moment. Maybe if Tyler pops in today, maybe he'll have something to update us about. We'll find out. So, Bearded Hunter, Umberto saying,
good
Hunter,
one.
remember there is also soft top for those Jeep stops that are vinyl. Yep.
Yep, Zinco.
And then Luke, any update on replacement IK trigger sprayer heads being available?
We were
They've been asking a lot about these in their group. I've seen it come up a million times.
September was the initial plan. When we had talked about it the most when Abon was here, but it's so close to SEMA that I think it might be an late October release. I was hoping September, right? It would still be, good, but it might be something like, okay, SEMA's here. We might release them around then. But I'm just as excited about them. I mean, I'm kind of chomping at the bit. I have, how do I say
You
this?
think that's more strategic, or is that a supply kind of situation?
I took sample trigger the thumb rest or the thumb rest from when back at TR SEMA that we had left over, and I disassembled all of them. I put them on mine at home. I'm obsessed. I love just that handle on the TR1 on the larger model. Feels amazing.
It's simple and lightweight too. It's not
and
some
it
big
clips
clunky
right
thing.
on. So yeah, I get why people want them.
Yeah.
Alex says, shout out to Dreaming about Canadian Frenchmen.
Singing those French fur trappers.
Gregor says, and are Ozone machines effective on any level for those disaster vehicles? Had a few mouse cars come through lately that did not have a budget to do a deep clean. I think that it will do something in the immediate, but long term, if you're not addressing the
root of the problem.
areas, the
It's
root of
gonna
the
come
problems,
back.
it's going to come back. And also, it's like you don't want to ozone something for so long, and you don't want to do it as time and time again because
You actually
it'll
damage all the
start-
plastics.
Yeah, you're going to start
damage
making
the leather.
things-
You damage.
You're
it
drying,
dries it out.
You're drying everything out, so
Yeah.
everything's gonna get really brittle. So, like, because I've had people borrow my Ozone machine that I have, and I've had my wife's friends, who go, "Hey, I just bought this car. It smells weird." And my wife goes, "Hey, can they borrow your thing?" I go, "Yeah, they can borrow my thing." And I've had a couple of them say, "Yeah, I ran that thing for like 4 hours." I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I go, like, how big is the vehicle? It's just a small coupe. And
I hope you didn't get in
I go,
right
all right.
afterwards."
So like 30 minutes an hour is good, but like they were like, "No, we just kept turning it on and on and on." I go, "Okay, it's too long."
So it's up to 12 hours is fine.
In a small car, I don't like that. I
The
don't
biggest,
like
Mazda
the
2
biggest
actually.
thing is that's usually the only amount. Like
Yeah.
that's the max time. So if they're doing 4 hours and then they get it again in a few months and they do another 4 hours and they
I
get
think
it again,
that
do another
that's fine.
That's okay. I've run them for 8 to 12 hours standard in a vehicle
Oh my gosh, yeah.
to remove a scent.
Question.
Well, I think
because of the
longest
fact
I've
that
ever had to do it was two
yeah,
hours.
most times you don't need to run it that long. And so usually what would happen was I would get a vehicle in, I could smell the scent. And I could go, 2 hours will be fine. We run it for 2 hours and it takes care of it. Other times I get in and I go, ooh, this one's going to be a little longer. And I'd run them for 4 to 6. But usually what I would do is I would get the car in overnight. I would make sure that I would clean everything. Usually what I do is I re-wipe and wet everything down on the interior and all the fabrics. And then I redress all the plastics. Just a light dressing on top of everything.
Yeah.
So that I can provide some hydration to those plastic
well, that was
panels
going to be my question.
previous to letting it run for that long. But there are horror stories of kids in dealerships leaving it running 24 hours, over 12 hours, max output, not cracking a window, leaving all the whole thing sealed up because it does need oxygen to continue to.
Yeah,
you have to bring in oxygen.
Some poor sucker hops in and just.
No, it's just it'll dry. It'll white out an interior.
Yeah.
It'll damage a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
And
So-
other than a time constraint,
but-
is there any reason you can't go back after the machine has done its thing and retreat the surfaces?
No, you have to. You do have to touch up some stuff.
Right.
but it's not like it's destroyed or damaged.
Okay,
It's just you want to rewipe. Maybe you have to clean the windows again because it does provide more off-gassing because it's pulling oxygen.
Right.
Remember, the goal of an ozone machine is to remove oxygen from the air and replace it with ozone.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't imagine, dude. Like I said, I've
24
ran mine for a couple hours, and I'm like, and it usually fixes every one of my problems.
About 90% of it is that.
And it's like, and I go to get in it, right? And I go, God, like I still smell the ozone, right? Like it's scary stuff. I do not like breathing in that stuff, but 4 hours, above 4, 5, 6 hours. Oh my gosh, that's. I don't know.
So I had a 4Runner that I'd bought right when Augie was born, and I was cleaning it, and I shampooed everything, I buffed everything. I mean, the thing was beautiful, low mileage 4Runner, and I bought it to flip it, and it had a smell.
Okay.
And it was like a sour milk, rotten milk smell. And I had shampooed all the carpets and upholstery. I had cleaned everything. Everything was in great shape. Interior was in great shape. But it just had this smell. And I replaced cabin filter. I replaced all the stuff. Took out the vent across the cowl. Vacuumed all that out. Cleaned everything.
Dead bugs and stuff in there.
And I had to run that ozone machine in there for 8 hours one day. Because I couldn't. These 1 hour, 2 hour bursts weren't cutting it. And so I had to run it finally for 8. And that was the last time I actually did it. And it finally got it all.
Yeah.
But it just depends on the scent. But yeah, it's great. The biggest thing is get the mouses out of there. That's the number one thing.
Well, P&S also has that one kind of odor.
Yeah, they have odor bombs as well that work well. Josh McKay, what do you guys recommend for picking up or protecting a GMC Terrain gloss plastic grill? So, Josh, this is up to you, really. Some people, you spray your product on and then you finger all those holes with a towel. Some people will spray a coating in those vents and just let it sit. Some people buy like Trim Shine from P&S, which is an aerosol dressing. And even though it is a gloss grill, they'll just spray that over the grill and let it sit because that stuff will dry and create a coating over it. It really depends on what you want to do.
I mean, being that it's gloss, whatever you're comfortable putting on your paint, you could put on it too.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the amount of work you're going to put into it.
It's just anytime you're dealing with the grill, it is a pain to get all the areas.
A lot of little holes.
Something with a spray that you could distribute, maybe with a nice fluffy towel that has a longer pile would be nice for that kind of thing.
Makes it a little easier.
That's a way to go.
Sacrifice a brush.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, a brush would be good too.
Rocky Iverson
says, let's see, aloha, gentlemen. It's been a minute. Glad to see you're well, and I caught this live.
Glad to have you back here.
And then we got Luke that says, I got a box of Wo-Wo's coming next week right from Scotland.
Wow, nice, Luke. Congrats.
You dog. What'd you end up getting? Tell us what you got. I'm guessing you got Quick Detailer. Hopefully you got Quick Detailer. Luke says, ain't happening, Hans. My Morgan signed blue bead maker are worth more than that.
Oh, because Hans had said he got 3 boxes of them on a train.
Always try.
Jamie the Cleaner only takes one good unfortunate misfortune for a future ghost vid to occur. And then Alex Orr saying, I look forward to visiting Stonehennon's Slithery Snake Hill Road Emporium.
I would not call anything that.
Hey, we don't know about that.
And then Stefan, I love how Dane always holds stopwatch timing how soon into the stream it will take to get demonetized.
I'm always just waiting for certain keywords or phrases where I go, clocked it there.
Then Spencer, and what feedback you'd give? Have another video coming out today, tomorrow. Did we miss this question?
I feel like,
him?
there's probably a previous question. I scrolled through it. I didn't see anything. So, Spencer, please give a little context, and then we'll be happy to help you out. Joey here.
Joey says the French fur trapper is what Jamie called his little goatee thing he used to rock.
No, it's the fur that does the trapping. It's not trapping fur. It's trapping food is what it's trapping.
That's awesome. David Boyce, here's a new scent to create, Levi Anthony. Coconut Earth. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's
very nice.
It's a good scent.
Jamie says it would only when hanging in the French Quarter. And Carly says, Mad Max Thunderdome is needed for the Grandambassadors. Hello, Carly. We've been joking because our cats come home and they're always beat up.
Oh,
for some
they're getting
reason.
into fights in the neighborhood.
And so,
they've been in a fight club.
So that's what we've called it, is a Thunderdome over at Jerry's house. There's this old man that has a well-grown house, and he's got
Probably
these.
betting on the cats.
He's got
is what
these
he's
two
doing.
big black cats. I mean, they're beasts.
Okay.
And,
Like dog-sized
and we
cats.
heard that the neighbor like feeds the cats out there, like for all the neighborhood cats.
Oh.
And our cat Sherlock looks like he's a brawler, and
Rough
he
and
looks
tumble kind of
and he
guy.
looks like he's like a full-size raccoon.
Yeah.
And so he walks over, and then we think he's in there as he's Master Blaster. Like he's in there getting a job done.
Well, who's collecting the money?
got that
then?
big
Which cat is
shoulder
collecting
waddle.
the money?
We don't know. It might be Shining Armor, the neighbor's cat, or it
Yikes.
could be the two.
I'm sorry, what's the
two
cat's
black
name?
cat brothers? Shining Armor.
Is the name.
That's
of
his
okay,
name. He's an
wow.
orange tabby. And
It's
then our
like he
cat Simon
intended
goes
for
over
that cat
too.
to fight. That seems
Yeah.
a little.
Well, and we always said Sherlock says food tastes better when it's been won heartily.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You guys and your cats. I love it.
To the victor go the
Moving on
spoils.
here, we got Jamie Cleaner says Anthony launches a To the Death Towel Hunger game and goes on Vacation Classic. Well, good luck. See you
Have fun,
guys.
guys. I'll
Yeah,
be
that's
back never.
pretty much how it went. Eddie Clone says hello, everyone, and we got
Eddie.
Alex
Bunch of hey,
saying
hey.
hey to Carl. We got back and forth hays. All right, good. All right, a lot of hays here.
Darren
Yeah.
says
Okay.
that good. I got mentioned twice.
Yeah.
Sorry. And the Masters of the Shine. That's Ulysses saying yo yo.
Yo
And
yo.
then
Ryan
Carly
Rigdon.
saying hey to Alex.
Here
and
we
then
go.
Ryan, good afternoon
Welcome.
from Smoky, Kansas City, getting my TRC order again. Thanks, guys, and have a fantastic weekend.
You too.
Welcome, man. Jamie says hashtag the fix is in.
Yeah, that's what I.
Joey says the fix is in.
his response to the whole not appearing in the
Darren's
stories.
laughing.
Yeah, Darren's
because he
Darren
got
thinks
tagged
he's getting
twice.
special treatment.
Yeah.
Or no,
Mountain
Jamie
Town.
thinks he's getting special
Hey,
treatment.
Grand Ambassadors, tag KCX and I'll repost it for sure.
Oh, good.
And Steven saying bug guts. I should save my dinner for the premiere. There you
Thoughtful
go.
move, Stephen.
And then
Oh,
Ulysses
man.
saying listening to the boys on my drive to pick up my daughter from school.
Thank you.
Saying
Appreciate
hello.
that.
And
Hola, hermano. All right, next page. Let's see. We're on page 3, I believe so.
yeah, Martin Richard. Hey guys, long time. See you. My vacations are finished. It's time to wash my car. Happy to try my big red towel from you guys. Awesome, Martin. Well, enjoy.
Nice. Yeah.
Sounds like the 1500. And then we've got Mike Reyes says, while I don't like the Ford Flex Dean, that exhaust you put on it makes me feel warm. As I know it sounds pretty crazy.
It's a
Sounds
love
good.
it or hate it kind of car. People who don't like boxy vehicles just think, ew, why would you buy that?
Anthony
But
and I are going to buy
people
one.
who
No,
like
but
boxy vehicles,
the
though.
exhaust on it is nasty, and the fact that
I'll let you drive it.
and
You-
the fact
you-
that Dane was like, yeah, I think it's just a little much. I think we need to just fix a couple tones. And I said, Dane, if you touch this thing, I will cut you off from all future car
It
modifications.
turns out what I found out was they didn't remove the big resonator in the middle. I thought they removed all the resonators. They
Okay.
removed the mufflers in the back, but not the big one in the center.
Did you climb under and look at this?
So no,
So
they were
should we-
explaining.
so let's
They were
remove-
explaining
so
to me.
let's remove
So
the middle one.
basically, I talked to them, and I know you're going to be mad. I talked to them. They're actually working on putting resonators at the ends, and then I'm potentially going to take out the big guy in there, and it's going to be potentially louder, but with a cleaned up tone. My problem was the bassy, boomy, low RPM. Just like rumble is good, but
wasn't
like
even-
it was
it
an
wasn't-
annoying
no,
frequency. It
it
caused the
wasn't.
entire drivetrain to buzz, and I hated
It
it.
didn't.
But I loved how it sounded.
It sounded perfect, and Dane has
And it's
ruined
fast. Is it not fast for what it is?
Yeah, but Dane's going to go do these changes, and he's going to be like, well, it's not exactly what I hoped for, and he's going to settle for it. I'm going to be so upset.
Oh no, I'm not going to settle until
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm just throwing it out there. But thank you for the shout.
Yeah. Kevin Meisner. Is there a spray ceramic sealant that does well against bird poop or most robust spray ceramic in your opinion?
Oh, man.
Kevin, not really. They're
Not
all about
really.
the same. The biggest key is get it off when you see it.
Dude, the bird poop,
Sooner rather than later.
everybody knows I'm pretty familiar with bird
You're
poop issues.
You're like a big fan of
yeah,
bird poop.
I'm not, what's I'm a fan, it just
Oh,
finds
yeah.
me and haunts me, right, every day.
Well, it's because I have trained crows.
But-
They send.
I have not found a spray sealant, like just a generic, not generic, but just a common spray sealant that like actually will protect from etchings like a true ceramic coating will. And I've used a ton of different ones, and it's just, it just sucks when it happens, because most of the time it's happened to me has been when the car only had a spray sealant on it, or only had a wax on it, or only had a quick detailer on it. But every time I've had a ceramic coating on a car where bird poop has happened, it's fine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I like rinse it off, wipe it off, let the UV correct it and fix it. If there is any light topical etching, it'll usually go away with some UV exposure because it usually is only in the coating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get unlucky too often.
Well, and I mean, when it comes down to it, it's still your sacrificial layer, and a ceramic spray is much easier to replace than a coating and a pinch. So it's not the worst thing in the world.
It's
to just have to go back and
it's more what that chemical is going, what the etching is, how far it's going to get.
It could get through it compared to a coating.
You guys have seen
true.
my vehicles.
Oh yeah,
that have
you
been
got
etched,
targeted. I swear
and
you got targeted.
see it and you go, oh my god, like that is bad. And I go, I know.
It's your red Civic and your black RSX both seem to invite the.
No, why do the birds hate the
butts
Hondas?
of birds?
Why do the birds hate the Hondas? my Dodge Ram 1500 with a 5.2 318 Magnum, untouched by all elements.
Which that paint could handle a nuclear
it can
apocalypse.
handle anything, and I'm like, please. Poop on this thing.
Bird butts bombing your bundles.
Not my other cars. Anyways, one more question here. It looks like all of the regulars made it today except for Kimberly and Franco. That might be
Angie
it.
Davis.
And then Angie Davis, but it's still not too late to hopefully see GG Davis.
So we will be returning shortly after these messages. This is just a brief little period to go and grab a drink, get whatever you got to do, bathroom break, whatever. We will be back in just a few minutes. Don't go too far. And don't forget, after this whole Q&A is over, we got a video coming out over on the Main Rag Company channel. So don't miss it. Click notify me. This is actually a good time to go do that. Keep a tab open and just have them both running. Anyway, we'll see you in a couple minutes.
So, looks like it's just me for the second half. Not really. Everybody's bathroom break ran just a little long, but that's okay. Oh my God. They're here.
We were having a conversation about stickers. Okay.
All right.
A long line at the bathroom.
Glad to have you boys back. I thought I was doing this alone.
Crazy.
So,
Left to your own devices.
I just I was chewing some almonds. I had to swallow the whole thing.
Whoa.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. I'm worried about it.
It's all right. It'll clean you out when it comes out.
Yeah, well, right.
Oh, dear.
So, anyways, jumping back into the second half where we like to have a little bit of fun, well, maybe even more fun than we like to have in the first half. We're ready to answer some more questions here. So, we have Luke Berge actually pointed out, he says that he feels like Hyperseal used to be that way. This latest version, I don't know. I don't have that wow and look anymore. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. How do I say this? Maybe we'll talk to Dr. G, maybe around SEMA, and we'll ask him if there's been any changes that would affect the glossy look of it. Because in our experience in our testing here, we haven't seen that issue, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we had a bottle of the previous version. I don't know.
We'll play around with it, Luke, and see what we see. Who knows? Might be temperature also. It might have been a little humid that day, or maybe not. You never know. So,
what vehicles are you using it on, too?
We'll do some testing, too, and get back to you. Eddie Cologne says...
Eddie Cologne, Optimum Superfan, says, Hyperseal is goated. And
greatest of all time, end of discussion.
We agree with you.
Well, 2023 hashtag. And then Ulysses, todos están bien, gracias a Dios. He said, everybody's good, thank God.
Yep.
In Focus Photography, any new brands coming on board anytime soon? You know we can't talk about that.
I was going to say, even if we did have something, we wouldn't be saying it here until we were ready to actually do like a premiere, a big release or something. So, good try, though.
Yep, we're going to start carrying chemical guys.
What? What? You're not supposed to say that out loud.
Rune saying, hi, guys, how are you? Have you tried the new Revision 5 Hyper Compound? I will get my hands on it next week. I'm really excited to try it out. Have a great weekend. We have not, Rune. We're excited, too, when we get that.
I hope in all the revisions that Optimum has been doing lately, don't touch Hyper Polish. Leave
Hyper
it.
Polish is
Leave
so good.
that product alone.
That product is just perfect the way it is.
Don't touch it. Don't mess with it.
There aren't many products that are like perfect the way they are, but that is one of them.
Leave Hyper Polish. It's too good. Next up here we have...
All right.
Let's see. Luke says, God Mode Foam Bead Maker. You gotta work quick, but it's awesome.
Do you remember when we did it? That was a great time.
Oh, it's amazing.
Luke Berge was God foaming bead maker in my garage at 1 o'clock in the morning with my niece's boyfriend, who's now husband.
Yeah. No, God Mode in a foamer. God, the smell is like it's euphoric.
It's among the very best.
Humberto says they have the Alltac Edge tape. Never seen that before. Tools for wrapping, heat gun, Opti products as far as new stuff.
Yeah, that is a lot of stuff. So,
true.
That's one thing. If you guys haven't taken a look, you can go through and check out the Wrap Institute, which is a brand we've brought on, which is a bunch of products. It's basically a family of products for PPF and vinyl wrapping,
sign makers,
and sign makers. So there's a lot of cool, unique tools that I like having just as well in my arsenal. So some of the knives are really nice to have, especially when you got to get into some kind of areas like was was looking at the Elantra. I put a new windshield in it a while back. There's one little strip of this black, the adhesive that they put in that like was squished out onto the glass, and I was getting tired of it.
Yeah.
Because it was like kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
I grabbed one of the knives and just sliced it along down the bottom there.
Yeah.
Cut that piece of rubber right off.
Oh, wow.
It looks clean. It looks nice.
Oh, very nice.
Didn't hurt my glass. Just was nice to have. So things like that you can think of. Maybe you're working and you've got you see some PPF that maybe the previous installer left a little long in certain areas or certain edges. It's nice to grab one of the many knives and clean those areas up.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. The heat gun. The heat gun.
It's a nice heat gun.
That is literally the Cadillac, the Rolls Royce of heat guns in the world.
Not cheap.
The
but that's
ability to
'cause
grab it right on the
so
end
good.
where it's hot. It won't burn you. It's
That's
ergonomic. It's got vents that exit back, so it's not going to blow out the sides. It's really nice.
You got a little sensor readout on one of them.
Yeah, there's temperature control. There's even the mag strips. That's another fun one. Maybe you guys have metal racking in your garage. You've got mag strips you can buy, wrap them around your pint bottles, stick them to the racking.
And
It's
they're strong enough
magnetizing.
it actually
They're strong
works.
to hold them. There's a lot of unique products, so please check out that and see some of the products that are on there. You never know.
If you're
Might be
eyeballing
something.
stuff like tint, PPF, wrap, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. This is
Yeah,
just
Justin
new additions
uses
to
those
our
mag
store.
strips on his heat gun so he can stick the heat gun to the car when he's working on a panel.
Yeah.
And
he uses that all the time.
I looked at it and I said, oh my gosh, I had a giant rack like what we have in the warehouse, the big orange and green rack and that piece of metal. I would have put those on there and put bottles and just stuck them to the wall right there. That would have been awesome. So a lot of cool things. Jamie calling it the bead cannon.
Yeah.
Bead cannon.
And then Alex saying, nothing like pre-lubing the mind with a latte from Caffeina, then popping some hot O&R Absolute, wearing a Dixon flannel, raw dogging that rinseless job.
Dang.
Man,
You know
Alex,
it.
He's got it down pat.
It's a whole
And then
vibe.
taking a trip over to the junkyard.
Yep. Luke Berge says, bead cannon sounds like what I was called in high school.
Dear Luke.
Beat cannon Luke.
Let's see. And Focus says, I was wondering if they would bring on some other lines like DIY or others. And then Carson Black says, hey guys, how are you? Great seeing you, Anthony. So I didn't know this. Carson got a job over at Larry Miller Honda, right?
Oh.
Close friends with my family over there at Larry Miller Honda. And I was dropping off my Civic, right? Get a belt, get a time belt on there, right? And I was walking through, I was leaving, and I saw Carson walking by. Granted, this was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't truly awake yet. I was like, huh? What is that? Oh, it is Carson. He goes, hey, Anthony, what's going on? I'm like, oh, man, I was so out of it. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, driving off my car. Don't have time to do this myself.
Yeah.
So here I am. And he was just, it was kind of cool. And he's a service writer, I believe, service
Okay.
writer, something like
Yeah.
that over there now.
Good for you,
So,
Carson.
Congrats, Carson.
Yeah, way to go.
there's a lot of people in my life that are drawn to Larry Miller Honda, which I just, I mean, if I don't buy my next new car there in
You're gonna
20
have
years,
you are going to have to buy a new car from
the
them.
amount of advertising you do for them for free is
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous.
I just don't, I don't.
And they're going to give you a horrible deal.
Oh, horrible.
They're like,
come
guess
at
what?
me.
You can have it at
They're gonna
the
come
same
at me and
price
be like,
as everybody
Anthony,
else.
you've done so much. You know, you've helped with promotion, and
You
you've
get that pilot for your wife.
and I
out.
just
Yeah.
want to say thanks.
And they're like, so we
and a completely separate conversation.
We locked you in at a 15% interest rate,
Oh,
right?
good.
Don't worry, right? It's a 15-year loan, whatever
Zero
it may
down.
be.
It's only a little
Uh,
bit less than putting this on a credit card would cost.
Something crazy, right? It's
Yeah.
gonna be something.
Don't worry,
like
it's got
that.
all the protection plans you've asked for on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for anything. Don't
We also
worry.
had it detailed for you because
Yeah.
we know that you like shiny things.
We also
so-
installed a safety package where the backlight blinks like 5 times in a row whenever you hit the brakes. It's very annoying and it's going to cost you $800.
to
We
remove
added
for
it, but we added it. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
we added it. And we can't take it
Yeah.
off, so we can't take
It's
that.
it's
We can't
against
take
the
that
law.
Which
price off.
vehicle did that happen on, Dave?
That happened on my Flex, and
Yeah.
I
Flex
made
has
them.
it.
I made them take all the other fees off, but they stuck that one on there, and it was just $600. Where I was looking, going, that's not worth $600.
Yeah.
I can't believe they did that. Dude.
It was dumb.
Luke's saying, bro, my parents keep the AC at the lowest of 74.
Oh yeah, well, you know, some places they don't want to do it.
Yeah. Then CJ Byrne says, our AC died in the house we just bought.
Oh, no.
And we are dealing with the home warranty right now. It's a nightmare. It was 95 in the master bedroom Monday. Growing up, we never had AC. So my first rag company trip with Jeff,
Yeah,
my AC died. That weekend I was gone. And my wife and
that's
children
right.
were sweltering, and
Yeah.
it was funny. I thought that would happen because a few years later, I left on another trip after just moving into a house, and it happened again.
Oh.
When we bought our next house, that's what happened. The AC died
Because you keep buying these
right when I was
houses
gone,
where
and I was like, "Oh!"
the previous owners were like, "It's in good working condition
I was
right
still
now."
paying off. I was technically still making payments on the last AC unit.
You
and
were.
I had to buy another AC unit.
You were.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was furious.
I remember when you got the
So
new
mad.
house, you're like, I'm still paying for the old one.
I
I
was
was like,
so mad.
crap.
Just
And
roll that into the
like
cost
we
of
had
the
gotten the
old
money.
house.
I just hadn't written the check yet to pay it off for the old AC.
How
So
insulting.
anyway, Joey says our insulation is so good. Setting the AC to anything lower than 74 in our house is freezing.
Oh, dude,
so my house,
I love a good
Good for
insulation
you.
job.
my house is 71. It's cold.
Yeah.
71. It is very cold. Upstairs though, it's still warm. So I have a second AC up there that I crank on just for fun, just for funsies.
See, when
And
I set
then it
mine
keeps
to
it cool.
like 70 or 72, the first floor is like 64 or 65, and then
That's
the
your
second floor
cave.
and third floor are like 78, 77. So there's it's segmented out.
Yeah.
It's not ideal.
Well, you've got the ceiling fan, so that helps.
Yeah, I've got a killer ceiling fan now, and it's way more efficient. So I'm glad to have that. But yeah, I mean, you can look at
You
other
could probably
ways
add
of
a
making your
second
space more
ceiling
efficient.
fan, maybe in the kitchen, maybe.
Wouldn't be the worst choice. Yeah,
And
No,
that way
it's
just
true.
gets a little extra more airflow. The other
Yeah.
thing is I'm looking into is vents that have the little air vents in them, or getting the inline fans for the
Oh, yeah.
ducting to help push air upstairs.
Now that's a good idea.
That's kind of what I'm looking
Yeah.
at. So
Okay.
in focus, same. I keep the AC at 74, 75. It gets pretty chilly inside.
Yeah.
And then Ulysses saying, my wife insists on tormenting me with setting our AC to 74, not cool enough, lol.
It's not.
And then Demo, being from the deep south, we always ran our AC when I was growing up.
I mean, you kind of have to. Also, it is a dehumidifier of sorts. So,
It is. Yeah.
all right.
Umberto says, at home, I keep the AC on 73 after it has been on for 1 hour on 70. Thank God I planted some trees to the side of the house so the walls are cooler.
That's a good move.
That's a
Good
help.
move.
Super Auto says Demo and a box fan. Really? 50 says, oh, I didn't get a sticker. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Real. First from Puerto Rico says, yes, the curveball looks different. It is a different version. That's why we have a curveball, screwball.
There we go.
And then Luke says, it doesn't just have the same gloss boost. I remember the first time I used Hyperseal when I topped a car with Beadmaker on it. It was crazy, the gloss. But with the recent Hyperseal, it seems that it's gone down a little
And
bit.
then it just, oh, wait
Yeah.
a second. Here we go. There we go.
If Beadmaker or Silky or DIY ceramic gloss gives better gloss. Oh, I don't know. Aaron says, my new home has AC and it's a 2-story home. I live in LA County, so the hot weather is somewhat in between. California have a Mediterranean type climate. Not sure how it's different for Idaho. We're dry, fully
It's
dry.
very, very dry.
Yeah.
Only this year has it been like weirdly humid at times in a way that we're not used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey Belinsky says, if there's something new or weird on the site, I promise I'll find it.
You
And
found
his
it.
second Labor Day package just arrived.
Oh man, look at you.
And then LHF Detail, Joey Belinsky, I'm still waiting on mine. Won't be here till next week.
Oh man, well, enjoy it when you get it. All right, let's see where are we at. Where am I? Oh, this is back a ways. Okay, we're on to page 3. So now we're on to 2. Okay.
Oh, we're catching up.
Oh my God, Eddie.
And it says, Joey, I got 5 out of my 10 boxes.
Jeez.
Madman.
Yeah. Luke says, dibs on the trailer for TRCMA 2024. Okay, Luke.
All right.
Tyler Cucci says, it's a work in progress for Diamond Body or Diamond Quick Body. I promise we're doing our
Quarterback.
best for a proper solution. Thank you,
All
Tyler,
right.
for popping in, man.
Thank you.
And then Demo, Eddie Cologne trying to buy everything in the warehouse. And then Masters of the Shine saying Eddie Cologne stocking up on the Opti products.
Yeah.
Eddie giveaway stuff that I bought somewhere else. Hyperseal, man, cases of it.
Nice.
And then everybody just, it's great.
Yep.
And then Super Auto saying, Alex Dwyer, shout out to Gary Wright's Dreamweaver.
Mm.
And
Rip
then
Gary.
David Boyce, Levi, any thoughts on tax system products like Quartz Max Ceramic or their ceramic coat sealant or
I
Moonlight?
always hear about Moonlight. That's one I've heard
Tac
of several times.
Tax Systems is, I believe, a blended product from a blender.
Ooh.
So I have not used their products. A lot of people like them because of the costs and the pricing.
The cost
But
is good. Yeah.
there's a lot of blenders out there that make the same
Now, are you saying that because
style.
you're sure, or?
But I don't know. I think TAC is a blended product. However, so I haven't played with it. But I have heard a lot of people that do use their products and really like them. So they've figured something out really well with their products. So if you like them, use them.
All right.
And then next giveaway sponsored by Danny Opti. And then Joey Belinsky, you can, Eddie, Levi, what we grab in Hyperseal or Defender? Me, I like Defender. I like Hyperseal too. They're both great. I'd have both on my shelf. I like them for the exact same thing. Joey Belinsky, you can also use BioBomb in place of an Ozone machine like here in California where Ozone's illegal.
Yeah, then you got to work around it. So.
Yeah, BioBombs are great.
Yeah.
So Simonize makes one that we
a lot
found
of BioBomb
out.
fans.
They make a BioBomb that was used during COVID because of the fact that it's used in hospitals to clear out triage and ER areas.
Interesting.
And they put that in there, and they put it in a room, and it kills everything, including viruses and bacteria, in a hospital room, as well as sterilizes everywhere in the air. It sterilizes surfaces that are exposed as well. So Simonize makes a really, really, probably one of the strongest ones on the market. And they're like a 6-pack, and they come with a little box that you put water in, and then you drop one of the tablets in and set it off and let it go.
Like an Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, a lot of the BioBombs are like that, but this one is like, it's a kit that you can just reuse. Oh, and you get the little. Okay. It's awesome.
Cool.
So, Dino says it just depends on how strong an Ozone machine. Those that are 20,000 or more milligrams only max 2 hours. More will destroy wire insulate. That too, yeah, it dries out a lot of that stuff. Sandro, recently when I went to the tire shop to have new tires mounted, and not sure what marker they used, but I cannot seem to take the markings off the tires. Any suggestions for this? Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's an oil pen. It's like a chalk. It's a weird oil marker that they use to mark things with, and it's like a crayon on steroids.
I was going to say, being that it is oil, would it be similar to a petroleum product like the tires, and you'd have to be very careful what product you use to remove it?
I think
because what could potentially work to remove it could potentially
I think acetone could take it off. I think
right off.
Okay.
Even just some lacquer thinner on a towel would wipe it off.
You love lacquer thinner, so
but
of
no,
course that would be...
like.
Yeah.
It's a marker
solution.
that they literally just wipe. They mark the tire for the things, and then I know what you mean. It is hard to get off. So
okay,
Luke, I got 2 bottles of Quick Detailer and 2 bottles of Crystal Sealant. I just haven't been able to find anything to compete with Crystal Sealant. I know, it's an amazing one. They also gave me a very generous discount to help with the high expense of shipping. That's very nice of them.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Enjoy, Luke.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
And then Spencer with a $20 super chat.
Holy cow.
Ceramic coating a case IH470 today. Feel free to look it up.
Oh, nice.
Last week I posted the YouTube video I made regarding coating farm equipment and asked for feedback. I was curious if you guys had saw it or not. Have a great day. I have not yet seen it, Spencer.
I did see, and I left a comment, I thought. But, I'll go back and make sure I did. But, no, that's great. And thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. Of course, then he's like, now you won't mess it up. David. Dane, the Ford Flex hit my silver RL, I'm guessing Acura RL, back in February. And that's the reason I don't like them. Dude, it's okay. I felt the same way back when I had my beloved prized SVX, the first car I bought with my own money. And it was backed into, when I wasn't even in it, I was nowhere near it. And a Lexus GX backed into it. And I was
How do you know
super
it was a GX?
upset.
Did you watch it back into you?
Because it was my uncle's then girlfriend's car, and she backed into it in the family driveway at a Thanksgiving
event. Was it
event.
a GX 470?
It was.
Nice.
And
V8.
I vowed from
Nice.
then on that I hated GX 470s.
They're great
But
vehicles.
I have since come around on it because I totally understand.
Because
It's
back
really
then,
a Land Cruiser Prado.
Dan didn't call them Land Cruiser Prados. He called
No.
them Lexus GX 470.
Well, that's because specifically this one was.
The GX 470 is a monster of an off-road vehicle.
Because in the
Such a great
U.S.,
vehicle.
we didn't have the Land Cruiser Prado. Anyway, it backed right into it, left a Mondo down. I'm so glad it didn't hit the window because those windows, if you know the SVX, those windows would be a fortune. option to replace. So
I loved.
phew.
So we used to do Easter up in the mountains.
Still cost $1,600 to fix the thing though. It was stupid.
Yeah, we used to do Easter up in the mountains when I was a kid. We go Easter egg hunting, and my uncle Bruce brought one of his ladies he was dating at the time.
One of the few.
She was riding a 4-wheeler,
Uh-oh.
and she didn't know how to stop it,
Yeah.
and she came in hot and plowed into the side of my stepmom's car.
Nice.
Oh,
Boom! Hit it so
No.
hard. She went over the handlebars. It was great. It was hilarious. We all had a good laugh.
Yeah.
She was very embarrassed.
Okay,
My
at least.
stepmom was furious. Yeah, she was fine, but yeah, she's like, "Are you kidding me?" She
Because
ran
usually
into my
doing that
car.
will result in some injury.
Yeah, no, she ran into my car. It was I was about 15 or 16. It was pretty funny. I remember that. Superauto, the Flex can be a badass vehicle. Same as a Scion XB I have, but
they
they
can
can
be
both
crap
be
as well.
crap as well. Depends on the color options, accessories, and aftermarket add-ons.
That's why I've got my Stormtrooper style one, and I'm very happy with it. It's cool. I like it a
Superauto
lot.
saying 66 watching and only 33 likes.
Got to pump those numbers up. Rookie numbers, son.
Ulysses saying 34 now. Cheese Doodle, Beadmaker is terrible. It's a literal dirt and dust magnet. That's
Well, Cheese Doodle.
not true.
That's
Not true, but I love we haven't had.
People, it's weird that people have
honestly,
like gravitated to that just like myth.
No,
constantly
I'm excited.
perpetuating
We haven't had somebody like say something
Yeah.
negative
Try
in the
and
chat
stir
in
some
a
up.
while.
Yeah.
Kind of like it.
Yeah. Jamie the Cleaner says, Cheese Doodle, mix a little Dream Maker in there. New friend. That's right, Clean Maker.
That's right. Let's
And
make
then,
friends with Cheese Doodle.
Ulysses saying, I haven't seen that issue when I use it, Cheese Doodle. Not sure if it's because we have low humidity here or not. He's in Utah. And then Jamie the Cleaner, Cheese Doodle, probably just Bergie's troll account.
Who's
And he's all, who's
Bergie?
Bergie?
I mean,
And-
that could very easily
yeah.
be something Bergie
and
would say.
Luke going, what? And then Cheese Doodle.
How much time passed between those comments? We need to know if he was able to go and
It
switch
was 1
profiles.
minute, and then
That's
Cheese Doodle saying, "I use OptiSeal and Optimum Spray Works. Works amazing. Yeah, they're
Didn't
great.
enjoy
They're
those,
Great
that's great,
products.
too.
Just don't worry about it." And then Jamie the Cleaner saying, "Lol," and Hans, "Lol. Are we speaking Dutch now?" That's awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys!
What a great
This is
exchange. Okay, are we on page
One.
2? 1. Holy cow, we caught up.
And then Cheese Doodle, P&S products are overrated. Optimum products are underrated.
Well, that's just
Okay,
like
there you
your
go.
opinion, man.
Yeah.
And
Rick
that's okay.
Smith,
Everybody's got one.
Coming in late. Hello, everybody. What's up, Rick? Joey says, I got some Mork, Glear, Glass, Innie, and Snow. A little bit of snow leaked. But it was a nice coconutty scent when I opened the box. That's very nice.
Could be worse.
And then first
Wait, hold on.
comes up.
You didn't get Mata to mix with the snow?
Oh, Joey.
Joey,
missed
what
the
are you
mark.
doing?
You better
How
have
are
some
you,
Mata already.
How are
if
you
you're gonna
missing
mix.
out on the coconut earth, man? How are you missing out on that?
Maybe he's going for something different.
And then
so.
Luke Brady says, "Is Morgan coming back to TRC?" I don't think so. She does live back in Boise, but
and she messages, randomly. Just
Yeah.
like, hey, what's up?
we stay in touch.
At all
with her,
times.
She doesn't,
But yeah.
she doesn't message the group
Well,
anymore. She
No,
just
I get like
messages-
individual messages randomly. And I know
Randomly.
you guys
Well,
do too.
she knows that we
I don't.
replaced her with Sebastian Mendoza,
Yeah.
right?
Right, yeah,
Our-
Seabass.
Our newest editor to the. Actually, I don't even think he's the newest anymore. but-
just a
for like
direct plug
4
and play
years.
replacement.
the newest editor.
yeah.
It's because he works part time that we
Sense
think
of
that.
humor is exactly the same.
Craig Schwent saying, "What is God Mode Bead Maker?"
Oh.
Also, just bought a case of yellow 365s. Can't wait for them to arrive.
Good choice.
Nice. So, God Mode Bead Maker 1.5 IK. So the very first gen
Or
IK
it can be
sprayer.
any IK multi-sprayer.
But you can put it in a multi-sprayer. But we did it in the first one.
Yeah.
We throw a Bead Maker sticker on it, and
Yeah.
Bead Maker made us, and PNS made
Yeah.
Bead Maker stickers for the IK, and then we would fill it from a gallon of Bead Maker, seal it up, pressurize it, soak the car in it, and then run as fast as you could to try and dry it off before the Bead Maker flipped and
Yeah.
actually started sticking. And
Because when it was aerated, it would go fast.
it goes very fast. And then if you foamed it, it would go even faster.
Yeah.
But it smell amazing. We get it in the air.
The whole room smelled
Yeah,
incredible.
it kills towels. So, like we said, God Mode requires some sacrifices.
It requires rags to riches is what it requires.
Yep. And then Super Auto saying Levi will be trying out that Shara on the Camaro Dash tomorrow for sure.
Nice.
Nice. So, little tip, learn this from Jack. Get some little makeup remover pads. You can pick them up at the store, grab a few, and then soak it on the little pad, the applicator pad, and then set that on the dash where you need to clean it. That way it kind of holds and sits on there. So
Okay.
Not
and
for
then-
too long.
Not too long, but it just
just long
helps it.
enough.
Yeah. Dino saying TAC System is a blender. Their products were resold as CarPro at the beginning until 2016 when chemists went to CarPro and opened their own lab.
Well, that would make sense
There
why I
you
see
go.
them brought up in the same
Yep.
conversations oftentimes by
Yep.
people. So, okay.
Thank you, Dino.
And there's nothing inherently wrong with
Yeah.
that. It's just the way we choose to carry brands.
Yeah.
is, you know.
The hairy housewife, must be something wrong with my family. We have our AC units in our house at a toasty 18 Celsius, which is 64 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh.
That is chilly. Wow.
that is
I mean, I
chilly.
love that.
That's Dane-
As a
that's
big
Dane
guy, I
living.
love
Yeah.
that.
That's Dane
That's
living.
like I said, that's what my downstairs is. But that's just when I'm trying to get the upstairs to be like 72.
Super Auto 2K says PNS is something similar to a biobomb as well, right? Yep. Yeah, you can check out their
Yep.
website. We even have some of their odor removers on our site as well.
Yes. Oh, it's a
then,
comment from us.
Made a post.
So, just so we can remind people, yes, we'll have a new video coming out on the main Rag Company
30
channel,
minutes.
5 minutes after the end of this broadcast. So, if you want to click notify me in a different tab, don't close this one. Just know you can do that following the link in that comment, which obviously if you're in the comments, you can just click on it. Don't bother trying to copy paste here. All right, next up, we got Craig. What is your favorite use for the Eagle 500? I love them, but I use the UBS for rinseless, Creature for wheels, 365 for interior. I don't know what I'd use them for.
Craig, so the Eagle...
It's a good wipe down towel.
In my
It is.
kind of regimen now, with how I've kind of dialed in my towels currently, I mean, my stuff's always changing. The Eagle is my go-to quick detailing towel, final wipe down towel. It's also like my light cleanup towel. So, for example, I went and drove up in the mountains just, yesterday?
Yeah.
And when I was up there, I was using... I think some Creatures to clean things up. But when I got back home, I was like, dude, I really just need to soak this whole... I don't want to wash the whole car,
Yeah.
but I do want to safely soak this front end and clean the vehicle really quick without having to do a full wash or get
Sure.
a towel completely saturated or whatever it may be. So I ended up grabbing some OptiClean, and I just soaked down my front bumper, grabbed those Eagle 500s, went through, and wiped up everything, right? Any of the bugs, any of the residual stuff, any dust, dirt. And it's such a safe towel that you can do that kind of cleanup with that towel all day long, and you're never going to do any damage within reason.
Yeah.
And so something like that, it's perfect. If I'm doing a dry application of a sealant or of some type of spray product, quick detail, or whatever it may be, the Eagle is a great follow-up towel to a second. It's a great initial towel, and it's also a great follow-up towel. You can do 2 Eagles and have really good results with it. But yeah, and then my motorcycles, because my motorcycles get dusty. That's all they get. It's just dusty. They never get really dirty. So having a couple of really nice Eagles on deck with my O&R, my quick detailer, my waterless wash, I can safely clean the tanks of those bikes, the plastics of those bikes all day long, and never have to worry about marring or scratching.
Okay.
Maybe that helps.
There you go.
That's
Cheese
nice.
Doodle
Cheese Doodle.
says the Gauntlet are my favorite towels from the Rag Company. Awesome.
choice.
Thank you, man. Han says lacquer thinner will take it off.
Probably for that pen on
Yeah,
the
tires. Craig Schwent, I use Nuva Air for odor removal. It can be done in 20 minutes with the car on and AC running. It works great. Awesome.
Okay.
And then Umberto, looking forward to seeing the Master of Shine at the Budco event in a couple weeks. I hope so
The
too.
Master of Shine.
Joey Belinsky, I can get a little negative.
Well, I mean, Joey, we're used to having like some people who like to stir things up, like Eddie famously does that, or Joe would oftentimes do that. People that we know and love, but also they like to just see what kind of responses they can get. So it happens, man.
Fred
It happens.
Schramrovitz, what's up, everyone?
Hey, Fred.
And then Ulysses saying, shout out to Eddie for being one of the most generous detailers in the game.
Hey.
Super Auto. Shout out to Clean Maker making PTO's best of 2023 list.
Oop, wrong one. There we go.
And then Ulysses saying Cheese Doodle sounding like an Opti sleeper agent.
Just
And
hanging
Jamie,
out in
yep, I don't
Tennessee.
see any Opti on that list. And then Super Auto Cheese Doodle equals Eddie Cologne's stealth account.
Ooh.
Joey says, bro. Anthony.
I have 2 bottles of Mata and Bubbler just chilling, waiting for some Coconut Earth action
was
this week.
ready
Okay,
all
good.
Boy,
along.
Joey,
Look at
atta
that.
boy.
I just didn't know if
Man.
you were prepared or not. I'm glad to hear that
Turns
you are.
out he was prepared in
Yeah,
advance.
you need to.
so.
You got to remember. You got to scream Coconut Earth whenever you're laying down that sweet, sweet.
Loud as
foam.
you can in the neighborhood.
Dino says detailing shot from Slovenia EU sells old stock of bows. Everything's about $6 to $7 per bottle. Oh my gosh, what a deal!
Yeah,
Wow.
go pick it up.
Dude, I would kill for some $6 bottles of Quick Detailer.
That quick
Yeah.
detail
So
was
I have
unreal.
Quick Detailer
Yeah.
left, right? And I have waterless wash left, but I use it so I don't know why I use it sparingly.
Because you don't want it to run out.
I should just use it, but like I enjoy that occasional spritz. I
Yeah.
enjoy the smells. I enjoy that, and I feel like once it's gone forever. When I can really just order more, but I
Well.
just too lazy.
But if you wait too long, then it ceases to work
With
quite
a
as
Quick
well as it
Detailer,
would.
man, that stuff's just
Well, okay, for somebody who is maybe like you, sitting on it for a long time, what's the expected duration you can do that for before it starts turning into vinegar or something?
No, it won't turn to vinegar.
I know
mean,
it won't,
most-
but I'm
most quick
using that
most
as a
quick
reference to
detailers-
wine, but you get what I'm saying.
Most Quick Detailers and Waterless washes are 96% water. So with those ingredients in them, they never really stop working. You may not feel as slick. The smell might get a little bit more muted, maybe, but it'll never really go bad.
Yeah.
Same thing with their waxes. The wax, as long as you keep them sealed and they don't dry out fully.
I mean, paste waxes have been known to.
Yeah, but I have the Woa's waxes still,
Yeah.
right? What I have is Contact 121, right?
Right.
Love taking a whiff of that every once in a while. I also love the
nice.
signature wax. I love taking a whiff of that.
Mallow.
But I do not have the mallow wax.
No more mellow. Oh.
Do you have any?
No. I wish I had Malo. I have Contact 121 still, and I think I have Signature as well.
Mallow wax, man, that's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Little trip down memory lane.
Super Auto 2K says, "Oops, should have pointed out that Clean Maker won first place on the list."
Yeah.
Ooh.
Then he just says Levi. Okay, cool.
Okay.
And then Chris Marcial. Hey, TRC fam, what's the best way to clean the Ultra Clay Mitt sponge? I'm scared it's going to get all sticky and ruin the clay material if I spray APC on it. It won't. You can also use dish soap and just scrub it, but it's designed to handle APC.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're not using
Just
something
use,
like a heavy...
Tar removers are bad.
Yeah, don't use a tar
Certain
remover
like
on it.
bug removal products are bad. Just like they'll soften it up, basically.
and if you want, you can dilute the APC if you want to.
Yeah,
So-
that'll make you feel better, but it'll definitely clean it.
Super Auto 2K says, Levi, funny you said that. I was going to use exactly that, the little round flat cotton thingies. There you go. And then
There you
Darren says, it's my downstairs, the reason I set it that cold. Sticky beans. Yep, no, it's my downstairs as well. Super Auto Extra Seal Pre-Buff Cleaner will remove those grease marks on the tires.
Extra seal.
There you go.
Okay.
Hans says TRC EU also still have some Woos on sale.
All right.
Yep, pick
Nice.
some of that up. Rick Smith, the McGuire's Hybrid Paint Coating, $19.99. Is it worth it? I don't know, Rick. I've never used it.
What results are you looking for?
Yeah.
That'll determine whether it's worth it for you or not. But I mean, if you want something to protect and you can pick it up today in a store, there's nothing wrong with that. It's definitely going to work. It's just a matter of what kind of results you're specifically looking for.
Jamie the Cleaner says he's still got a full can of Malo wax and will trade for a Morgan
Well, that's
sign
a
can of
deal.
Blue Bean Maker.
Berkey won't give it
It's a
up.
good deal, man.
Yeah.
First from Puerto Rico says another live stream for the Rag Company just popped up. Did another live stream just pop up?
Oh, it shouldn't. I'm looking down. This is fine. We're still on the stream. We're good.
Odd.
Maybe he's seen the premiere
Probably
that
seen
is
the
starting
premiere.
soon.
Oh, okay.
Letting
It's
us
giving.
know.
If you click the notify me, it's giving you a warning that it'll
Yeah.
be starting soon. And Umberto, I know you're always first. It's probably because you clicked notify me. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
J Hall says, my car could with CSL XO V4. Is it me or is Absolute way slicker than ONR V5? I do pre-spray on both. It's subjective. I think Absolute is very, very slick. I think that there is improvements to V5 for sure to make it slicker. It depends on the surface, depends on the car. I mean, when we were doing our testing on Absolute not months ago, like year ago,
I was gonna say, that was years
however
ago.
long it's been now. And the prototype stage.
That was one of the things we did
most of
notice.
it was on my car. My Civic was CSL and XOV4. Actually, some parts had XOV5 on it as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, this Absolute stuff is just so freaking slick. It was crazy. But then using the new V5 on like my other car with OptiCoat Pro Plus on it, I was like, oh my God, this V5 is so freaking slick. I don't know. I don't know if it's the coating that I'm feeling. I don't know if it's the product that I'm feeling. And I've felt it a lot. It just, those two are probably more comparable now feeling wise than ever, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's a
Absolute-
closer fight for sure.
But Absolute may still have the edge on slickness in general.
Yeah, it's the nuance of it though. You have to like be a connoisseur of rinseless washes to really appreciate the differences at a certain point. But I mean, hey, if you're there, you're there.
Let's see.
He does pre-spray both.
Yep.
He says.
Eddie Clone says Adams Wheel Cleaner or Brake Buster, fellas. So obviously we're gonna go with Brake Busters, but Adams Wheel Cleaner, I mean, the wheel and tire cleaner they came out with to literally try to compete with Brake Buster is a good product.
I'd say it's more aggressive.
I think it's got more caustic soda in it,
Yeah.
and I think that's the reason why it puts on a better show on the tires. Like, Brake Buster does an amazing job on the tires for being an all-in-one wheel and tire cleaner, but I think that the Adams Wheel Cleaner has more caustic soda in it, and I think that it really blooms out that tire faster, but I also just don't know. It's crazy to me that they made that a retail AutoZone storefront product because if it is stronger than Brake Buster, especially at that alkalinity, I don't know why more people aren't. I don't know if they are having issues with it, but how that wouldn't create more problematic issues
Doing things to like painted lug nuts or something.
On people's wheels that maybe they spray painted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody said, "Hey, I'm going to use Adams Wheel and Tire Cleaner on my spray painted wheels," I'd be like, "Don't do that. Clean them with soap and water."
Yeah, wouldn't be my
I wouldn't
first move,
unless
that's
you
for
did
sure.
it with 2K clear. That's not that those wheels aren't going to hold up to a cleaner like that time and time again. So I think it's stronger. I don't necessarily think it's better, but
It's good though. There's no question here that it's good.
Yep.
Eddie
be
Clone says he
careful.
knows that Hypersteel doesn't like Adams. I'm guessing Adams coating.
Yeah.
And then we've got Nothing Can Survive knockoff Super Clean. Says
That's not a good thing.
Hashtag super clean vibes.
Are
Jamie,
you
add
driving
a little
through super
Dawn.
clean rain showers?
Good for the ducks. Super Auto. Oh yeah, I did a deep dive the other day and watched some classic TRC vids.
Ooh.
And watched some classic Junkman TRC. Is he still
Nice.
around? He is.
He's kicking.
chopping wood
Yeah.
somewhere.
He's
His
enjoying-
channel
still
kind
doing
of took
some
a
stuff.
turn and did some like POV drones and like
It was
went to some
pa-
weddings,
it
was
passion.
chopping
It was-
wood.
There was passion videos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, granted, when he did his detailing, that was passion too. That was just something he cared about, and he just happened to be videoing it. It wasn't really the point to try and become like big on YouTube when he was doing it,
Yeah.
but it just worked out for him.
He had a lot of good videos.
Rick
Yeah,
Smith.
last thing I saw, he was on a Porsche Cayenne doing some
Yeah.
real stuff.
Enjoying himself. Rick Smith. Umberto has notifications for his notifications.
Ah, yes, he does. He has to be notified about when he's going to be notified.
Rick says Adams all day, Eddie.
There you go.
And then Eddie saying Absolute or ONR V5, which one you grabbing to Jamie the
Throwing
cleaner?
it out there.
And then Eddie saying Adams 13.5 boys,
No glove gang. Oh,
It's a pH
Hey,
of
sir.
13.5.
yeesh.
And then Jamie says the one not as dry as cracker juice. And then Super Auto, shout out to Jamie the Cleaner's Clean Buster, next to make someone's best of list.
There you go.
And then Rick Smith saying hello, and Neil saying, hey guys, just received Forced in the mail. Can't wait to use it.
Ooh,
awesome,
nice.
Neil. Enjoy.
Yes.
Lay it down, dude.
Good stuff.
And then Ricardo B. What's up, gentlemen? What brand 2K Clear would you recommend after a headlight restoration?
Spray Max.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
There's
that's
no
it.
question. That's
No
just
question.
the
Spray
one.
Max 2K Clear.
You heard
Don't
it here.
don't buy anything else. I honestly think Spray Max is probably one of the only
It is.
companies
And
that
I was
makes
going to
2K.
say, I don't
They
know
make,
if
a
there's that
one,
many
they make a
options.
1K and a
Well,
2K.
no, there's
they make a 3K, don't they?
DuPont has 1K clears out that you can go buy now at any store. I don't think I've seen a DuPont 2K clear that's a can
Yeah.
version.
We go to a auto body paint and supply store to get the 2K from Spray Max.
Did you see?
I feel like it's a can of liquid gold. Like whenever I
is.
buy it, I look at that and I go, "Do you know what this can is capable of?
Yeah, it's
Gloss
nice.
for days,
Yeah, it's
Anthony,
and a nice hard clear."
Yeah.
have you talked to him? Remember when we went to that concert and there was that shop that was opening up in the little strip mall over there? and it's a new automotive paint.
Yeah, you know
body
there's
store.
a paint
and it's
supply
right
store
there in Glenwood,
over by the
next
Revolution.
to Revolution.
They sell sandpaper. They sell everything there.
Brand new, and they got the right 2K clip. They got all that stuff.
Yeah.
So now we don't have to go far if we don't want
Yeah.
to.
No, we got to go check it
We'll have
out.
to go check it out.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
love
make
our
sure
friends
it's,
at Wesco.
Of course.
We got to go restock
when we
on our.
walk in.
We got to go
just not
restock
fun
on
getting
a
stuck in traffic.
$160 worth of a Trizac 3000 box of discs.
We have so
Can
much.
you believe that it's that expensive?
Yeah, it's crazy.
No,
Not cheap.
That's how much it was. So when we had our training class, whatever it was, a couple months ago,
Future detailing,
they said, "Hey, Anthony, can you stop and grab some 3000 grit Trizac, some discs?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll just go down to the store." Back in the day, pre-COVID, around COVID, a box was
Like $60.
$60, $65, and we were always like, "God, this is expensive, right?" For sandpaper. It is now $160. When he rang that up, I said, "How? How?" And he goes, "Dude, each sheet's like $18, and there's however many in here." And I go, "How is it $18? What makes this $18?"
This is special sand that we glued to this
Yeah,
paper.
it's pretty crazy.
Nuts.
I mean, it works. It really works, but it's just,
I'm about to get into the
that's
sandpaper business we're about to do.
well, that's exciing.
Rick saying is Adams and Wise Guy the same thing? I cannot confirm nor deny, Rick.
I don't know.
Joey Belinsky, honestly, Innie's pH level surprised me.
What's the pH level
it's
of
a little higher.
Okay.
Yeah. Eddie saying, Joey, it's a mild cleaner compared to Adams, though. Anything is mild.
Yeah, it's all relative, right?
Jamie saying, when are we getting the remake of the Smittens? The last Smitten was goated. So it's something we keep revisiting.
Mm-hmm.
We have the final plans. It's just a matter of getting them finished. Jeff has them in his notebook that he carries around.
They are being thought about.
No, he comes up to me all
things
the
are
time
being
and says,
done.
"Anthony, when do you want to talk about the Smittens?" And I go, "I don't know."
It was a niche product, but we
No,
did
the hard
feel
part-
strongly that it was a good product.
People don't realize they didn't start selling like crazy until we were literally phasing them out.
Yeah,
we say
and then
that,
suddenly
it's
people are
like
like, "What's
something
this? This is
Yeah,
awesome!"
like-
It's like they've been here for years, guys.
Yeah, we're literally like, okay, these aren't selling as well. Maybe we'll start phasing them out to focus on other towel projects. And right as that
priorities.
time was happening, everybody goes, "Wow, these Smittens are the best things ever." I'm like, you didn't see that
No.
when we first launched.
But
so
that
why are you
happens
saying
to
that
us with
now?"
chemicals, with other
All the
towels. It
time.
happens all the time. People get interested right as you're like, I guess that was a bust.
Subrato says, Neil White, we're both going to have to use Forest on our Braves after the Cardinals get done with them. Ooh.
Eddie saying, Super Auto, I heard Yum Car Care Citrus greater than Forced, and it's made to be dilutable. Forced is dilutable, Eddie.
It is.
Highly dilutable.
Yeah.
Forest X,
diluted all the
Forest
time.
X is even
More
more
dilutable.
dilutable,
Yeah.
technically.
And then Ulysses saying, Rick, that 1999, that hybrid coating is actually legit, so you
There
can
you
try it
go.
out. Eddie says a 12.
Oh, yep.
Jamie says, Any came to clean and take names and smells like vanilla. It's the best. Rick says, thank you, Masters. Alex, gotta head out. Love y'all. Thank you, Alex.
Right back at you, Alex.
And then everybody saying bye to
Yeah.
Alex.
And that managed to get us caught up. We still got about
Who would have
12
thought?
minutes here.
Yeah,
but
we got
yes.
12 minutes left.
So, I mean, guys, if you have those last minute questions you want to get in here, now's your opportunity. If you got some like oddballs that you kind of felt like, well, I don't know if it's something I really need to ask. I was just curious about
Yeah.
it. Now's the time to
So
do
I
it.
got a guy. So I got a guy bringing his car in
Yeah.
this weekend. He has it CSL XO coated, and he ran it through the Bluebird car wash recently, and it lightly marred up his truck. So,
Lightly.
yeah. So he's like, hey. He had some fender flares also put on and painted, and I didn't coat them then because they were fresh. So I'm going to coat them again and do a quick. I think I'm going to do an advanced light polish
That'd be nice.
on there.
Yeah.
I might either just top it after I let the advanced sit. I'll top it with a little CTV3, or I was thinking of maybe just getting a bottle of XO V5 and just going over the whole thing again with XO after polishing. And
That
doing
would
like
be
an
that
Uno.
would, that would be a premium service if you were to do that.
I just don't know if I need to.
It's up there.
You could use just Rupa Zuno and then top it with XOV5. It'd be a premium service,
Or
right?
yeah.
With a premium result. Or you just hit it with an advance, which is going to be
like doing
It's
that.
going to fix the problem, and it's also going to just drive that protection in. And we
And
know,
then just top it with CTV3.
Yeah.
you know.
All right,
whatever
I
you
got
wanna do.
Eddie here.
Yeah.
Bam.
Says, what's good, fellas? What's good? Adam stealing the wolf packs. We having a rave about it.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was only a matter of time, dude. Like
So you got to remember, Uncle Adam stops by randomly.
He does. He does.
He comes
well,
by.
and he stops by randomly, and he goes, "What's going on here?" He checks things
He's
out.
very nice.
and he
And
looks
he does
around.
randomly
He
pick. I remember the day.
Yeah.
looks around.
It was our TR.
He's like, what's going on
it
in
was
here?
a TR towel.
Yeah, he saw the TRC.
It was a TR
towel.
towel sitting on the thing, and he goes, "Wow, this is nice." And
Nice towel.
And I
Now,
think
we're not saying that's what
we'd
happened,
already-
but at the
we'd
same time, we
already-
know that is a thing that happened.
Yeah, we know that.
I'm not saying
that
it led to that,
It
though.
did happen. We can't confirm or deny
Right,
that that's
yeah.
what he went and told. But he was like, "Wow!" And I think
This
Jeff
is a good
gave him a
idea.
towel and was like, "Hey, man,
So
here you go.
he's-
Here's a towel
yeah.
for your truck." And he's like, "Oh, thanks, man." So we don't know, but Uncle Adam stops by, buys us pizza, buys us
Yeah.
food. So it
It
is
was
what it is.
only it was only a matter of time, and for what it's worth, though, I believe that their borders that they're doing their prints on are a satin border and
Okay,
not,
that
and
does
not,
make it
not
different,
a
yeah.
suede border. So the suede is obviously going to be a premium 70-30 blend. It's
Yeah.
going to have
Yeah.
that absorbent edge to it. Satin. I don't know why companies are still producing satin borders.
Because
I'm actually
it looks very good
Well,
in pictures.
well, it looks okay in pictures, but and the cost is lower to produce
Yes.
satin instead of suede. So I think that's a big
But it's
reason
not
why they do it.
functional the way
But I'm
suede
actually
is.
happy that other companies that are making microfiber towels are still producing satin borders because
Yeah.
it gives us a step above being that we
Sure.
pay the extra and we do the 70-30 suede.
there you go.
So, anyways,
That is funny, though.
Craig, any idea how to get to detail with a country club? Been trying to email them, even offering free services to just get in the door, and they won't respond. Am I just beating a dead horse here? And then he says, for the members, not the actual country club. That's a hard one. Usually you got to know somebody, get one of your customers to be in that club, to get to talk to somebody. The hardest part is I would go in and actually probably, if it was me and it was important, we don't really have country clubs here in Boise. We do, but it's not as popular. I would probably try to join the club or join as a member of like something, or if they're doing I would donate to one of the events that they're having, get in on one of their, because they always do that kind of fundraising.
this is a scheme that
It
you're,
is.
You're,
Yeah, it's
you're,
a full
you-
Ocean's 12 scheme.
You are literally coming
You
up with
know,
this scheme right now
In real
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
You're basically saying that you need to, what's that called? Not break in. You need to insert yourself into this.
Right. Yeah, I
a
would.
heist.
Yeah.
I would try and figure out exactly what their
Insert
social.
yourself into their
Yeah.
lives.
I would call and ask
gonna
their social
infiltrate.
calendar, and I would ask their marketing person or whoever's in charge of their charitable organization, and get in touch with them. The goal is then to donate a gift certificate for
Yeah.
a free detail
This is
Yeah.
social
to get in
hacking.
during one of their events.
and steal the other donations.
steal the other, buy out all the other donations.
Yes. So all that's left is the detailed gift certificate. And they go, so what's up with this and why is it so special? Well, it's the only one that wasn't taken first off, right? And it's a premium detailing service, right? And what do they know?
Yeah.
You're in the club.
Yep,
The owner
exactly.
of this is in the country club, and they go, well, we just got to go talk to the guy. I didn't win the donation, right? There was a prize there. There was something there I wanted to
Yeah.
get. I didn't get that, but can you still fit me in? And you got to make yourself seem busy. You got to tell them no, right?
Yeah.
You go, I'm not taking any more jobs. And you go, please, I got this LaFerrari that just needs to be cleaned. And you're like,
The
I
17th
Yeah.
I've
And
tried
then-
all
and
day.
then you
That's how
say,
you get in.
I told
so that's how I
myself-
got into Idaho Power. I donated a gift certificate to an elementary school
Charity
fundraiser and
auction.
The lady that won it was in charge of the service truck account, and so she got her card done, and she goes, do you got room to do big trucks? And I said, yeah, I do. And she's like, oh, let's bring in some of these. And I was like, sweet. So, Craig, that's a hard one. I'd just keep trying. Give them a couple calls. Try not to offer too many free services.
No.
But try and let people know.
Call them and tell them that you're too busy. And just say they go, hey, it's the country club.
You called us.
So I'm calling to let you know I can't take on any detailing right now. I'm just overwhelmed. And they go, well, we don't know what's going on, right? But then they're going to go and talk about it. Hey, this guy called, he's too busy. Call him back. Let's see if we can try to get in on his schedule.
like
right?
Maybe there will be a dropout or something.
Super Auto says, just saw this glass mittens online at other couple places, says in stock. A number of other businesses do have them.
They might have
they're
them.
just out of stock here.
Yeah, distribute it out.
Ulysses says, I coated my windshield in Diamond Body glass, or in, Diamond Pro glass. How soon would I be able to coat it again? Beading is still there. Just curious how soon. Anytime. You can do it again now if you want. Super Auto says, one of them is in Ontario, one in the U.S. There you go.
There you go.
So then Adam's Mutt Pack towel, says Ulysses. And then they say the shout out to the Chihuahua Pack.
Oh.
And Joey says, Uncle Adam's a thief.
No,
he got it for
He was
free.
just curious wandering
And
around the
then,
building.
Rick
We're
Smith
sure the two
says,
events are not connected.
Shout out to Ammo for releasing a polishing line. It
That
looks
was
really
very
good.
cool
I went through it
looking.
all, checking it out, looking at everything on his line. It looks really nice. He did a good job.
That was the talk of the town
and I'm excited to
yesterday.
talk to him about it when we see him.
Yeah.
And why he didn't pick our towels. No, I'm just kidding. Eddie says, shout out to Adams for not hiding, stealing like Max Shine does Rufus,
Jeez.
keeping it real.
God. Hey.
And then Cheese Doodle says, I'm in New York and I'm not trolling. Beadmaker was a dirt dust maker. Okay, Cheese, like that's
Now,
fine.
here's what I'll say. If that was your experience, if you tried it with almost any other spray sealant, you'd probably experience a similar phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on the conditions of the area you're operating in.
Yeah. Eddie says, Rick should be here tomorrow. Shout out to my sponsors. Luke says, is it true if you can hang from it, you can bang from it?
Well, I mean,
And,
like hanger hardware, I banged my thumb with a hammer by accident before, so
ouch.
technically that
Jamie
counts.
says the Chihuahua Pack gets me every time. Scott Matern, Anthony, any tips for using Dr. Color Chip to fill 1/4 inch by 2 inch scrapes and paint? I keep pulling all the paint out when I'm using the pink stuff. Thanks. Have a good weekend.
So Scott,
have to build some layers.
depending on what they look like, right? You can, and depending on what they look like, and depending on what kind of applicators you're using, like if you're just using the brushes that came within the Dr. Color Chip kit, sometimes that's not enough. I highly recommend buying micro brushes off of Amazon. You can buy there's different colors they come in. They're really cheap. You'll get 240 micro brushes for $6, whatever they are, right? And buy those so you have extras on hand. But certain applications of Dr. Color Chip I don't always use the Seal-Act solution. So I can just use the paint itself and just let it cure and settle without having to go over it with the pink stuff. Because the pink stuff is going to contain a solvent that is going to actually soften the look of the paint a little bit, remove a little bit of the gloss, and kind of flatten it out a little bit, while also removing excess paint. But sometimes the touch-ups that I'm doing don't always necessarily need to have a softer look, or don't need to have paint pulled from them if I'm accurate with my application process. So if I'm good with that brush, or if I've bitten off the tip to use just the pointy part of the plastic, I can get into certain nooks and crannies and be like, hot damn, that's good, that's solid. I don't have to touch it again. But if it's a bigger scrape, like you're saying, try to build it up if you want to build it up. Try to get the paint inside the area that you're filling. Let it cure. Go back over it again. If you have any cleanup, just focus cleaning up with the Seal-Act rounds outside of the scrape or outside of the chip that you're working on, and try to leave everything in the middle untouched by the Seal-Act, and it'll still dry and harden. So I had a Dr. Color Chip bottle spill in my toolbox.
Oh, no.
I didn't know it spilled in there, right? I guess the cap came undone or whatever it was. Spilled my toolbox. Luckily, it was on one of those Husky, those little mat
Liners,
things,
yeah.
the liners, right? But I opened up my toolbox and I looked and I go, oh, crap. And then I looked and I go, wait, that's actually pretty cool, right? Super glossy. The whole puddle it created, right? all the metallic in it. It was super glossy, and it was rock freaking hard, man.
Yeah, that's nice.
Rock hard. And
Take a picture and send it to Tony.
Well, and that's without any
confidence
seal
inspiring, if
that's
anything.
without
Yeah.
anything.
Just
I
the
was just
paint.
unbelievable. It was just unbelievable because I've never done that before,
Yeah.
whether on purpose or accident. Seen what that paint would look like fully hardened up, and yeah, dude, like reflection inside the puddle, and
Yeah.
I yanked it and pulled it off of the thing. And there was still flexibility within the paint, right?
Yeah.
But it had a reflection to it. You had all the metallic, and I go, that's
Nice.
pretty cool. Whatever this paint formula is that they made to be able
Yeah,
to
they're
do
very
what it
good at
does, it's awesome.
Now, I will say,
Rick Smith.
we've got a lot of
gonna
comments
blast
here,
out
and we
these.
have 5 minutes after the show before we have to move over to the next video. So let's make sure we
I'm
get
gonna
all
blast
these in that
6
time
and
frame.
7 minutes. Good deal, Eddie. EC details for the win from Rick Smith.
Yep.
Harry Hippopotamus saying infiltrate country club added to my to-do list. And the Harry Housewife says, guys, always great stream, keeping me entertained on a long Thursday night. Everyone go smash that like button. Give these guys the love they deserve. And I'll see you next week. Same time.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
Hippopotamus Stew saying the ammo Rupes polisher looks awesome in my
does.
opinion. Joey says cheese doodles leave dust everywhere. Maybe that's the issue. Jamie the cleaner said, exactly, bro. Doesn't want to look in the mirror to see the real problem.
Well,
And
hey,
then cheese
I
doodle,
can't help it if
goes,
he's a cheese doodle.
why would
okay?
sealants attract dirt or dust?
It's usually because the monomers might or the polymers monomers haven't had enough time to flip to repel the dust and have anti-static properties.
Because initially there will be that attracting quality.
Demo 1000 says, after 1 year, do I need to polish my glass again before reapplying Diamond Protex glass? No, you don't. Just clean it, decon it, and do it again.
Boom.
Eddie says, there are some that don't mix with Dreammaker. There's some that don't mix it with Dreammaker. It will help with dusting, or buy a real sealant. There's always Hyperseal, lasts 20 years. Thanks, Eddie.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say 20
Cheese
years.
All
Doodle
right,
says,
Eddie. All right.
OptiSeal worked great for me, and I use Optimum spray wax on top of that. It's unreal. So happy with the results.
Well,
Nice.
then good.
Use
Use
that,
that.
dude.
You
Just use
enjoy it. That's great.
Yeah, Scott says, thanks so much. You're welcome, Scott. Jamie saying, that's an Opti anti-cheese dust technology. And then Ulysses saying, have a great weekend, everyone.
You
and Neil
too.
White, Dane, have you watched Ahsoka? It's great.
It's put me to
haven't.
sleep.
And-
It is a snooze fest.
Joey says,
Neil.
shout out
no.
to 20 years. Anthony just couldn't follow along.
No, dude,
he's
it
not
is
he's
man.
not a
snooze.
Star Wars fan.
I am bored by that show. I am bored, and I wanted to like it.
I still stand by Andor being the
It's the
best,
best.
of all the
It is.
shows,
It
with
is,
Mandalorian being up there, but the
No.
later seasons were not as good.
I
Andor
loved
is the best
Mandalorian
to me.
and Andor. I love them both.
The first and second seasons were really good. Enjoyed those. After that, not as
Man, I
of
loved
draw
all
for
the
me.
rest of the Mandalorian.
But Andor is my top.
Well, you'll fall
for all
asleep
those Star
during
Wars
Ahsoka,
shows.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
So
anyway.
all right, that brings us to the conclusion of this
Neil
Q&A.
says you're crazy.
But that's all right. It happens, man. But what I will say is the fun's not over yet. You will get to see at least one of us, that one, in a video coming up on the main Rag Company channel. A
I
video
stood out there
where
and watched.
he plays with bug guts and he's somewhere behind the camera. But look forward to that happening. And I'm seeing it's 4:01 right now.
4
in
minutes.
4 minutes, it will
Head
be
on
time for
over.
that to premiere. It's set up as a premiere. You can see where it's going to start. So head over to the main Rag Company channel.
Hurry!
And
And
get
go
ready. You
like
can
it.
leave
Hurry,
comments.
go to the
there.
bathroom.
the
You can
video,
click like,
too.
Get your
you
drinks.
can comment on it
Like,
as
like,
it's
like.
playing, it's streaming, and everybody can kind of join in the fun. So, we want you to take part in that. You're already here. You're probably, taking a little break. Go do it. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, click like on this video before you leave. We appreciate you. And until next time, have yourself a great weekend. We'll catch up on the podcast next week on Tuesday at 10 a.m. right here on the Rag Company podcast channel. But for now, go check that video out on the main channel. We'll see you.
See ya.